Ni mimi na vanilla. Huh? We're starting. We've never done this. It's my first time, eh? That's what she said. Take it easy, eh? Yeah, take it easy on us. Anyway, welcome guys to yet another episode of Gearhaus. This is our first live episode. We've never done this. We're actually guessing how much vanilla. In the guesswork. So I hope you're watching us. I hope you're seeing us. We're really happy to host a live podcast. Kona Earl Karanja over here, one of our special guests for the day. Ibrahim Toloi.
Papa
Askofu mwenyewe. Karibuni sana.
Nashukuru.
The Christmas special.
Actually, it's a Christmas special. What happened was that we closed our season. Actually, we finished the season. Then at some point we were like, let's do something for Christmas. And this is the Christmas special. So I hope you guys will enjoy this episode. Tuko wapi?
Yes, so we are at Popote. Popote is by Cafe Kaya. And the Undi mtoto are the one at
Viking House.
Yes. So they are proud partners for the Christmas special. So if you ever need to get something when you're in Lavington, you can pop in. They're actually in Jahazi, right on
James Gishuru. Yeah.
Yes. So the other one is at Viking House.
So if you want a cup of coffee, pastries, something to eat, they are really, really nice food. Maze, Roy, thank you so much. Roy.
Gearhaus supporters.
Gearhaus supporter. And I'm support Leo.
And right into it. Lasinga situanzishia na maombi.
Anyway. Papa Askofu wako hapa. Tuko na mhubiri mwenyewe hapa.
Wanasema maombi ilipigwa asubuhi tukiamka. So tutamalizia jioni tukilala.
Yes. Karibu sana lakini.
Asante.
We Al, salimia watu bana.
Hi guys, it's good to be here. The second Gearhaus, the third actually. Fourth Gearhaus.
Yes.
So I'm always happy to be here and discuss cars.
You're actually our most frequent guest because season 1 you came thrice.
Yes.
And now this is the 4th time.
Yeah, so always happy to be here. Good vibes. Let's talk about cars.
Tujibambe.
100%.
Na pia Tolo, it's your second time.
Second time.
Lakini leo tuko kwa studio bana. Tuko kwa baridi.
Kwanza last time uliniwekea light vibaya, nilikuwa na kama sijui leo kama ni mweupe nashinda Al kidogo. Tuko sawa eh? Cameraman amesema tuko sawa.
Actually the only light skin here ni vanilla. Chocolate. You're the only light skin guy here.
Wewe msedidi.
Wewe bada.
But pia inapelekana.
Inapelekana. All right. Let's get on to it. Joji couldn't be here with us today. He had a commitment that came in at the very last minute, but tutaendelea tu. So, in the news, first thing, road safety. We've been having a lot of issues to do with road safety, especially during this festive period. I think all of us have seen in the news so many accidents happening, so many incidents on the road. I think all of us know about Jirongo's incident, and I think all of us saw the video. You've also seen the other incidences in Western Kenya, the rift and whatnot. So I wanted to have a discussion on that as part of the news, and maybe hear your views, because people keep on saying what should be done, what can be done, but then nothing ever seems to be done. And the government seems to be so clueless about how to go about this road safety issue. Is it a road design issue? Is it a driver's issue? Is it a cultural issue? I mean, Ibra, tuambie wewe unafikiriaje?
For me, where I sit, I see as both. So I remember there was a time we had Michuki. And for a second, things worked. Watu walikuwa wanawekwa mali nafaa ikuwe, and things kidogo in the matatu sector and even the road safety, things worked for a minute. But I think as a culture, as a people, tunapenda ku-overtake, tunapenda kuwa na kiburi kwa barabara. And I believe the government also with the, when I say the government, I mean the police, right?
Yeah.
Wamefanya little. Once you do that, pia squeeze unatembeanga na kitu kwa mfuko. Once they flag you down, you know how to play it the Kenyan way, and then you get to escape and continue doing your stuff. So I think there's a bit of negligence on that side of the government, but the culture of us as Kenyans as well, ni wase tunapenda tu hizo story mingi. And then right now during the festive seasons, because right now it's when we are having a lot of accidents, I believe people are going for profits and people are in urgency to go wherever. So kama buses za kubeba abiria zinafanya a lot of trips, drivers are being overworked. But I've seen the government has brought out a directive saying that drivers above 60 years old, they should be renewing the driving license every year, and like 3 years. So I don't know whether that is something that can work.
So vanilla.
Yeah, vanilla, chocolate.
But at the same time, if you really think about it, does it even make sense? What do you think? Like guys who are at above 60, you need to go for health checks. I don't think that's what really causes
I don't think it makes sense, because how many 60-year-olds are causing accidents on the road? To me, like he said, the Mishuki era was quite hard on, And as long as we have rules that are being broken, as long as we have impunity, it will keep happening. And also, obviously, it's happening a lot right now because there's a lot of people who are drinking and driving. There are people who are overspeeding. We have no rules. We need like a hard-on, a hard-on book. If you break the law, then they are like you have to face the music. It's the only way. You need that kind of how Mishuki did it, yeah? Like you break it, you face the music. Simple as that.
I think I'd take a wholesome approach. I think we need to look at the issue of our road design. That's one issue, because try driving at night in Kenya. You can't see anything. Even if you have the best bi-LED headlights available, it's too dark to actually see anything, especially Prados, e.g. Prados. It's difficult to see anything. So we need to look at lighting, we need to look at signage, we need to look at how una drive, like, I don't know, Pale Uhuru Highway, as you're approaching Museum Hill. On the innermost lane, the lane ends. Like una drive kwa lane, then suddenly there's a pillar right in front of you and you have to now go to this other lane. I mean, it can cause an accident, right? We also look at driving culture. How comes in Kenya, everyone passes driving tests? It's not normal. Wase UK who fail marangapi alo mekwa UK. Have you failed a driving test in the UK?
Haven't, but I know people who have failed a lot, So I would say even sometimes you find these road constructions going on. You find a boulder on the road. So you can imagine you're speeding on Thika Road on the innermost lane. Then there's a rock or even a boulder. Those toppers that they use. It's even moved even slightly. Imagine just hitting that at even 80. It's going to be,
And guys, normally
you brought up a very good issue around lights. Sijui kama unatembeanga huku unakutana na zile motorbikes zinawakanga lights. Zinakublind, zile zinawaka kama strobes, And even cars right now. You talked about very good LEDs and those conversions. People are having like very serious lights on their cars, akikumulika, and people were commenting around the accident at Jirongo, and people could say the lights were quite bright. There is a possibility maybe blind you say kuona ako wapi ama ako wapi road markings, and sometimes you get a mixture of that. So there's a lot around the design of the cars themselves, the rules, as Al says. Na kuenforce tu hii nafikiri nchi yetu nataka at some point to suspend constitution kidogo deal na waseki gangster, because if these Kenyans drive to Rwanda, they observe traffic rules and they don't overspeed. Hata Tanzania, you know, we are cool guys, but tukiingia tu Kenya na manga,
Pinya hiyo kitu.
yeah, kabisa. So I believe for me, culture, enforcing rules, and re-education on how to drive safely is also paramount.
You know, just I think that was last year, the year before. There's a time when they had said that drivers will be retested every 2 years, and there was a lot of drama around it, and everyone said, "Oh," but I think with the way we drive, sometimes it just might make sense to just get guys retested, because it's not so much even about you being on the steering as much as it is about, do you understand what you're doing on the road? Guys are driving on the right, they're insisting on staying on the right. So you find sometimes you're forced to make like a dangerous overtake because a guy alikatalia kwa lane, which is also dangerous in and of itself, because that's not how you should be driving. And it's the reason guys end up overlapping and sometimes overtaking wrongly because a guy is driving poorly.
Yeah.
So I think pure our own culture, we are really terrible drivers at the end of the day. Like, you know, the stuff we're talking about, like boulders, is mainly within Nairobi. When you get on the highways where there are no boulders, now the boulders are the drivers.
Yeah.
Guys are just terrible.
I think OT is here. OT posted a video on Twitter. OT yako hapa, there's OT, kuna Trevor, Dr. Osoro, Jumbi, Caleb, Kahoro. Kuna wasio hapa, kuna ka audience. So wanaweza uliza maswali, by the way. Na pia mwenye mko online, you guys who are watching online, actually feel free to actually comment, ask questions, we'll relay
Yes,
them
actually,
here.
as you know, the live stream continues. If you have any questions to any of us, please drop them on the comments. I'll be going through all the comments and start kupiga shout out, and we'll see your comments and questions.
I have a summary on the driving thing. I believe we drive the same way we do our politics. So if we can fix our politics, we can drive better.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I was talking about OT. OT posted a video. You were driving to. Maybe someone can give OT a mic.
Otishka mic.
Oh, mic ya OT.
This my live stream is very strange.
Wewe ongea tu.
Mimi naongea. So
Kuna camera.
I was driving from Nakuru coming towards Nairobi, and kawaida, that stretch of Kinungi is like, I always say that Kenyan roads are odd. They have like a culture. So like James Gishuru over here is a 2-lane road, but when the traffic is heavy, the heavy traffic side becomes a 2-lane side and the other side becomes 1 lane. And if you drive on James Gishuru often, you get used to knowing how that road behaves. So you can tell who is a foreigner on James Gishuru, because when traffic is heavy and they're staying in the middle, like, bana, unelewa imaneno, move to the side, we go 2 of us.
Yeah.
Same thing with Kiambu Road as well. There's a culture that ikishikana sana, we do all.
Yeah.
So every road has like a culture. So Kinungi has this thing where as guys start coming downhill, there's a particular stretch that is straight. On that stretch, I always try to keep as left as possible, because chances are guys who are overtaking have been following a truck since flyover.
Yeah.
In fact, since Sokomjinga. So they get so frustrated following the truck, they say, this is my only straight stretch of road. And they all commit to the overtake. Now, another guy behind him will see this guy overtaking and decide, I have more speed than him, but he's going too slowly. So they'll go, as happened in my video, the guy now comes all the way even onto my lane.
Yes.
So you end up with 3 people coming down Kinungi at the same time, when ordinarily it should be 2 of you climbing and only 1 person coming down.
Yeah.
So there's the aspect of like the road design, like the way they did at Salga, where they just split everybody down the middle, no crossing over, and the accidents really minimized at that portion. They might have to do the same thing at Kinungi, where basically you just design the road around the culture of the drivers. But the way you are saying, I think even Al, it is not normal how many of us pass driving tests. There should be a higher failure rate of the driving tests. And also, it's like the fact that our laws aren't like enforced. For me, my personal gripe is how we have laws that we know we won't enforce, but we put them there. So, for example, like this might sound a bit weird, but I find it strange that an estate will put a speed limit of 5 kilometers per hour, knowing very well no car will drive at 5. Nobody drives at 5. People walk faster than that. So the estate speed limit says 5, but nobody enforces it. So instead of us having laws that we don't enforce, it would be better if we put reasonable laws and then enforce them strictly. So for example, the one for no overtaking on the yellow line, the law makes sense in practice, but then you find Maimahiu is yellow line from the top to the bottom. So if you're driving on Maimahiu and you don't overtake on the solid yellow line, your drive down will take a lot longer than normal. And you'll find everyone who drives on Maimahiu will always have that instance of overtaking on the yellow line. But then there are other instances where the yellow line overtake is strictly enforced. People don't do it. They don't do it at Maimahiu because there's no place to overtake. So they bend the rules. So since we have areas where we bend the rules on one side, and then other areas where we strictly enforce the rules, it brings the culture of our minds of us trying to find our ujanja. The ujanja culture do not sumbua. So even like now coming here, James Gishuru, guys were single lane road, 2 people are there, and everybody understands and everybody is okay. But strictly speaking, all of the guys who had pangad, who had they had gone both sides, should actually be on a single line. But the policemen don't enforce it, and the drivers themselves also don't want to do that because they're like, we'll spend forever in traffic. But now, you see now we have an instance of where the Traffic Act says, don't do that. But we have an instance of like 100 people have all broken the act, then we all look at each other and we are okay. So we have to either strictly enforce the laws or make the laws in a way that, like, make the laws really like mirror our behavior. Our behavior. Like adjust the laws for our behavior if enforcing it is becoming a problem.
Good points. So thanks, Oti.
But what about the road design? Because I think also sometimes people behave like that due to road design. Because maybe the roads at this point also have now become a bit too narrow for the kind of traffic we have. Because I think the reason guys are jumping on the side on Kiambu Road, on James Gishuru, is because the road is no longer working for them.
The road actually has, I wouldn't say the design is bad, to be honest. Some countries have worse roads than us. You go to the roads in the UK, they are even narrower than our roads. They have more cars, of course. The thing is, the behavior that we have on these roads. No one has respect for the other person. And you want to hold the traffic in an alto when you're driving, and you don't even care. Yesterday I was following someone on Thika Road. He was in a note. He is in the middle lane, driving, windows down, just, he's on the beach on somewhere. In his head, he's on the beach, I'm telling you. So all of us are having to drive around him.
Even today when you were coming here, it
yes,
happened.
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing happened.
So the road is good. Thika Road is probably, if you lift Thika Road and you move it to a first world country, bro, they'll think they've seen, the best road.
Yeah.
But the fact that the people who are using it don't respect it, and they don't respect the other people, then you have this culture of people being angry and just, doing mannerless things on the road to just get where they're going.
Yeah.
So the roads are not bad.
Now where altos zilifanyia nini? You've mentioned an alto again. Every video there's an alto somewhere.
They're the biggest lane blockers, I would say. The biggest.
All right. Second piece of news. This happened when we were away. Because when you closed, we've been giving news. And every episode again, Toyota just makes the news.
Another bombshell.
At Gearhaus. So there was the Toyota GRGT. Maybe Al is going to comment about this a lot because you're in the supercar industry. And
Love
that's a
that
supercar.
car.
Huh? What?
I love that car.
You love that car. 4-liter V8, 600 plus horsepower, 800 Newton meters. Tell us, Bana, what are your views?
I think you remember what Akio said.
Yeah.
That was in 2017. He said no boring cars. Then out of nowhere we saw they started, I think, with a few GR based models. They were GRS or GR Sport. Then they introduced the GR Yaris. They came with the Corolla now. Then now they've started badging other cars now, like the 300 series. You have the GR Sport 300 series, which is an actual, good suspension, ready for off-road. Then they have the Hilux, which is GR Sport as well. But we still didn't see a replacement of the LFA. So I remember 3 years ago, we saw the first test of this car, and people knew that this is the next LFA. And immediately on the track, we could hear the engine. It's a V8, so people knew the V10 is there, which is still a good thing. So they've gone on and released a 4-liter twin turbo dry sump kind of lubrication, which is the same as other supercars. And the best thing about it is that they are not chasing the numbers like an SF90 or the Ferraris and the Lamborghinis. For example, the Lamborghini now they are like almost at 1,000 with the Temerario, which is the replacement for the Huracan. And with Toyota, they went back to the old school. It's all about low center of gravity, less weight, no hybrid. And for people who are thinking that the LFA is not coming back, they are coming back with an LFA, but it's going to be full electric. So they've sort of served both people. If you want a V8 twin turbo with 650 horsepower, it's very light, low center of gravity, a very long bonnet like the SLS AMG or even other AMGs, this is the car to get. And if you want an electric car, then you're getting a LFA full electric. So Toyota is really doing well. They said no more boring cars, and here we are. You can almost buy anything from Toyota right now that is based on a Gazoo racing product, you know.
Hey, bro, what do you think about Toyotas?
Man, so a Kia's philosophy is, you see, I believe Toyota, they create cars to validate that they know what they're saying and what they're doing. And that is a statement. The GT, the GR-GT is that statement. The design of that car, of course, from the LFA, dope, beautiful. It's a beautiful car. The power figures. And I believe Mercedes-Benz are doing the same thing, BMW. So we have the M5 that has a V8 and an electric motor, hybrid kidogo, same to the GT, I believe. Yeah, so Toyota is just taking a textbook example of what works, and they are cementing it. Unlike Mercedes-Benz and the rest of the people who are doing it as a marketing gimmick, Toyota are doing it to validate that they know what they're doing. And if they want to create a car that is powerful and awesome and beautiful, a car that has a soul, they can actually do it. So the GT and the GT3, I believe it's a car from Toyota as a statement of validation. That look, we know what you're doing, we know what you're saying, and we're coming for this performance market as well.
And there's Vanilla, before we get, there's normally a rumor that Toyota took, you know, when Toyota bought shares in Subaru, somehow the Subaru has been dying in terms of being a performance car. And Trevor is here. You're going to suffer. You will suffer. he got his early, so he's not going to suffer anymore. But we've seen like Subaru moving away from making sports cars to making family cars, you know, cars kupeleka watoto shule, futa nini.
So and if you look at around the time they stopped doing serious, you know, sports cars, around the time the VAB, you know, was coming to an end, they said they are focusing on SUVs. Their SUVs are actually selling a lot. So if you look at the Forester, if you look at the Crosstech, if you look at the Outback, it's a big seller in the US. The US is their biggest market. So I know the concept that they are pushing, that Toyota is pushing Subaru towards a boring kind of brand while they are doing the, you know, the GR products. While that is not factually true, if you ask people who are working from Subaru, there's actually a Kenyan guy who works from at STI in Subaru, and he was saying that's not true. They are a small company, but at the same time, you cannot deny that Toyota went up, Subaru went down. So there's just something,
Yeah.
you know.
To us guys as laymen, kuna kakitu tu.
Yes, there's something. You know, the Dexter thing. I just can't prove it. You know, yeah.
Kuongezea kwa hii GT, there is something special. So I believe one of the car that Toyota had that was very nice, powerful, we know them. So the LFA, we had the Supra in collaboration with BMW, right? And then we have, is it the BRZ collaboration with the Subaru? So the GT is their first one. This is us fully. Hakuna collaboration, I'm saying, don't watch kusema ati Supra and BMW Z4 and all that. So I believe this is Toyota making a statement, just the same way they made with the LFA. And yeah, Subaru is selling a lot. Ni venye tu hapa tuna complain. But if you look at the market dynamics, you know, people are buying Subarus.
I think they still came on top in terms of reliability scores. They've been doing that a lot. But you see, the US, the cars the US is getting, we don't even get them. For example, the Outback Wilderness package, which is brilliant car, but we don't get that. So we get a Forester that has, you know, rack issues here, and it's we are buying used cars. I always say we are a used car market, so we'll never get the products that other countries are getting. We get them after they've used them, then we fix the issues, So there is that.
What do you think about the the performance B STI concept, which is like Subaru trying to kind of make a comeback? What do you think about that?
I mean, I saw that car, but to be completely honest, it was like a cross-tech with wide body. I'm guessing they will go for the FA24. Then if you look at what it is versus what we already have with Toyota, with the Corolla and the GR Yaris, then you just have to ask yourself, unless they price that product around 30,000, then they will undercut Toyota with the Corolla, for example. But if they don't do that, I feel like it's just another Subaru with a few gimmicks, and for them to sell, it's just going to be really hard. They need to do something drastic. Maybe offer an automatic, either like the 8-speed automatic or even a dual clutch. I think dual clutch are dying now, so probably an automatic. Then do obviously the 6-speed manual. Then we need the interior to actually match these other cars. For example, if you look at what happened to the Supra that they just killed, the main disadvantage on that car was the interior. So they had a very outdated interior. The car, the drivetrain was really good. The B58 is a very good engine. The driving on that car is really good. I think they are some of the fastest cars now in the UK. They are all doing like 6 seconds on the quarter mile. So it's a good car. It's a good platform, just like the previous Supra. Good tuning platform. But the interior just lets you down. And you are living in the car. You're not living outside the car, So if they are going to do something, they need to do something with the interior. They had really good seats with the S208, those bucket seats, proper Recaro seats. So if they come back with such things, someone will feel, I'm getting value for money. And, Subarus have never been about 0 to 100. It's just that people make them to be 0 to 100 type of car. They are driver's car. So if they can bring that back on the table, then I think they have a solid chance of selling a performance hatchback.
All right. Ibro, kuna maoni ingine?
Mimi naona tu Subaru ni statement ya ego from Subaru to remind the Subaru guys that, look, we can still make an STI. I'm not sure. I'm also keen to wait and see what will happen to it. But I don't think they'll give us something strange or extremely different from what we have, unless they implement some of the things Al has suggested. But it'll just be an STI.
All right.
Yeah, but I think in the long run, I think Subaru will never really go back to its roots, because Toyota truly now wants to build back to their days when we had the Supras and the Celicas and the whole performance package. So I don't think they'll allow one of their companies to actually cannibalize from what they're trying to build. So I think guys like Trevor are the ones who are enjoying the last two Subarus, and all over here, everyone else, just enjoy your CVTs.
Enjoy your rubber band gearbox in peace. Talking about CVTs, as usual, kwa drive CVT lazima ichemke kidogo. Trevor ulisikia story?
There were CVTs that were burning as usual.
Pale Subuiga tukipanda Subuiga.
For real?
Hey,
which car?
XV bana.
Yeah. Ile ya kitambo ama mpya?
Hizi mpya tu. Hakuna tofauti. CVT ni CVT.
CVT, yeah. Ama walikuwa nafinya sana.
Alikuwa nafinya, unajua saa zingine hapo Subuiga it's very tempting.
Yeah.
Alafu kukiwa pale na lead car ilikuwa W211 E350.
Hey,
iko na 300 horsepower pale hivyo.
man of culture.
Alafu kuna ma STI hapo hivyo. Kuna BMW with the M54 B30 engine hapo hivyo.
Akajiweka kwao.
Akajiweka hapo katikati.
Paka ichemuke.
Hey. Noma si noma.
Of 211s. Yako iliacha kuchemka.
Hiyo tuongea baadaye. Ndauliza pia Al story ya Broncos sijui kulienda aje. It's like we are paying the same price.
These guys are suffering. These guys, let me tell you, these guys are having project cars. They are suffering. And even us now, we have a project car. We are going to suffer.
Yeah,
soon.
We've seen.
Anyway, before tutafika hapo.
We must suffer. All men must suffer. So.
Yeah. Something must kill a man.
Yes.
If not ladies, pombe. Masi pombe, magari. Si ni magari.
Yeah.
Ati? Ama government. Chunga tusikue shut down. Wewe bana.
Kwa live streams.
Tuko live stream mazi wanaweza zima hii kitu bana. Ama stima zipotee. Aya wazi bro. Anyway, on to the final piece of news. still about performance, cause we had the East Africa Classic Safari Rally, which happened at, earlier on this month. Nilikapitia. You know, this had to make the news because someone here made us go all the way to Amboseli to try and meet some famous people. So acha niongee Vanilla, wewe nyamaza kwanza. Acha mimi niseme yangu nitoke.
Acha huyu jamaa atoke.
Na pia ulikapitia.
I suffered on the previous one.
Many of us suffered. Sasa, we've come from the drive. We are tired. On Monday, so we finished the drive on Sunday. Monday was a rest day. Tuesday was a work day. Vanilla calls me, says, "Wait, Kalasinga, twende Amboseli." I'm like, "To do what?" "Wait, tukaone bude ya Max Verstappen." Okay, going to see Max Verstappen is alright, but bude ya Max Verstappen.
Si nilikuwa naenda kuona HBet wangu.
HBet wako yeah. So I'm like, "See, me, I'm not going." Siendi. At like 1 p.m., Vanilla and a guy called Brayo, who seated here, were at the basement of my office. Gari imeguruma. Tuko hapa chini. Tunaenda. I'm like, siendi. Tunaenda. So I'm like, let me go down and say hi, niwasalimie, niwawish well, safe trip. Buda, nilipigwa ngeta kani nimeingiza ndani ya gari.
Lazima
ni ukweli bwana. Anadanganya. Aliingia mwenyewe. Brayo, aliingia.
You know he has to say these things because now he's a jobless man.
Okay,
hiyo ndio version ya bibi.
Okay. Wife anaocha charge hii version. Si ile version nyingine. Charge hii version.
Manza alifika kwa gari akatuambia hata ni mimi naendesha. Lazima nikaone baba ya Max. There we go. Chris Harris alikuwa anaonewa kwa dirisha akikula saba.
Sasa we went all the way to Amboseli with this guy. Alafu tukafika Amboseli. Tukaona wazungu kadhaa wanakula sapa. Tukaona helicopter. Alafu boys akacheki a young guy in a Red Bull t-shirt. Akakuja kuniambia, Kalasinga. I think nimeona Max."
Mlikuwa mna picha reference?
Hatuna picha, lakini ananiambia ati nimeona Max. Alafu to make the story believable, anasema hata ichopa iko hapa, ni Max amekuja nayo. So mimi na Brayo tukaenda kutafuta Max bana, ilikuwa tu kama mzungu mwingine hapo hata mazia tafanani na Max. I was so disappointed.
Anyway, at the end of the day, we still went. Na tukaona gari. At least that was the highlight. But we are better off. There are guys who spent 10 days out there in the wilderness. Wakishinda wakitafuta Ken Block, RIP. Na hakuna mali waliona Ken Block.
Hiyo story ni ngumu sana. So even us, just like you, fortunately for us, si tulikuwa hapo. Tulikuwa tumepewa ka sponsorship to document the previous one, before this one, for 10 days. So tulifuata kutoka Naivasha all the way paka Watamu. Of course, the highlight was Ken Block. So the reason why we actually accepted to go was Ken Block. Everybody wants an interview with Ken Block. So sisi naye tulifika. Ken Block tulimuona. Kumfikia ndo ilikuwa shida. Kwa sababu rangi yetu haikubaliani na wale watu wana interview Ken Block. So we were just stopped. And it was at the height of COVID. And they demanded that we have, I don't know, tuko tumefanywa hiyo vaccination sijui 3 weeks ama sijui 2 months earlier. Na sisi tulipewa tu tukienda hiyo kitu. So of course we could not do it. But at least we saw Ken Block. Unlike the two of you, we saw Ken Block racing with a Porsche. Yes, 911. Oh, mlimwona?
Alikuwa anakula
saba. Si huyu jamaa amesema mlimuonesha Chris Harris mchingu.
Alikuwa ukweli. Alikuwa anakula
saba.
Mlimuona kwa dirisha.
Sawa.
Anyway, and Chris was actually racing in a Porsche, just like Ken Block.
Yeah.
And Porsche actually won the rally. I think most of the cars were two-till
vehicles, yes.
Tuambie pronunciation Wednesday.
Tatil.
Yeah. Tatil Porsches. So these guys, they actually try to make Porsches go off-road. They're still rear-wheel drive, but then they're raised and built for the rally. And I think they're even making some road-going cars.
You know, they used to actually build, Porsche used to do Safari, 911 Safari.
Yeah.
So what they are doing, they are just recreating the same thing. It's just raised suspension and just like the Dakar. So it's made in a way that the intakes are reversed so that the dust doesn't go, you know. So it's brilliant stuff from that team. I think they've won a couple of them, and the 911 has been winning, taking it away from the Datsun. Is it the 240 or the 260? Not sure which.
240Z.
Yeah. So yeah.
So I think at the end of the day, some of these things, it's nice and exciting to see that some of these big names are actually now coming more regularly to Kenya. Almost every year we have a big name, because for the longest time, I think, apart from the guys on the Safari Rally, we never had any, drivers of repute coming in. So getting to see these guys through Porsche, I think is a really good thing. It shows just how much potential that we have as a country in terms of just being able to build the motoring scene to be much better. I think there's still much more work that the government needs to do. Away from that, I think we can now discuss about the vehicles that made the cut this year. Like, what are those vehicles that everyone can now say, hey, this is the top vehicle of the year? I think we'll start over here with Al. Like, ni gari gani, it knocked it out of the ballpark, or the maker.
Al, you've driven, reviewed, sat in, experienced several cars this year. So basically,
Quite a lot.
quite a lot. If you can recall from the top of your head, what are the top cars that you've,
It's gonna be hard. So probably in terms of design, I would go with the third gen Aston Martin Vanquish. I think it's a beautiful car. They've really, really outdone themselves. I just hope it sells, because they've not been selling well. And with Aston, the value is always starts here, it ends here. But I think it's one of the best looking cars. It reminds me of the cars from the 50s and 60s. The lines are just beautiful. And in terms of performance, I'm trying to think which car has. I actually really love the 911 Carrera T. It's like one of the cheapest models you can buy. So what they've done with the new one, they are almost allowing you to build a GT3 on a budget. So it's still a twin turbo, but now they give you the bucket seats from the previous generation GT3. So basically you end up with a very cheap 911 bucket seats. You can obviously option for carbon ceramic brakes. I believe you can still do a club sport package. So, and a 6-speed manual. So no longer a 7-speed manual. So Porsche has a comfortable 7-speed manual, then they have a 6-speed manual. So that's what they are giving on the Carrera T. So if you can't afford a GT3, that is it. So for performance, I would say that would be my top car. And now for the hyper, I don't know. For the normal cars, I would still go with the Corolla. I haven't seen the GR version. I've seen everyone in my circle has reviewed that car, but I haven't even seen it in person, because it's not sold we don't even have one in Kenya yet.
Yeah.
And in the UK, I haven't seen one because it's not sold in the UK. There are a lot of GR Yaris. Literally, they are like Altos in the UK. Everywhere you go, there's a GR Yaris.
Yeah.
So I'm yet to see that version. But for the hyper version, I would go with the McLaren W1. So that would be my top.
Hiyo ni gani?
So it's the
W1. Mimi najua P1. Wait, Luide, Peter,
it's the
Genie.
it's the successor to the successor to the P1, McLaren P1. So basically the newer version of that. So they just launched it last year. Managed to sell a few. They are making about 300 and something. Yeah.
And locally, from the cars you've driven in Kenya, what cars have impressed you the most this year?
In Kenya, I would say the Swift Sport. Not because you own one. Not because you own one.
Kuna ufisadi.
I actually
tunamalizia hapa. Imeisha.
I actually drove
I know the reason he's saying a Swift Sport. Alibeba wadereva Uber kuja hapa. Sasa anajua atakosa transport kurudi nyumbani.
That's the only thing
I actually experienced one before you even bought one. Like before you even had a drive-in one, I had Mustafa's car. And from there on, I realized how brilliant they are. Today I drove one again, and I was even telling him that why not for the bad roads, because kukinyesha, you can't go anywhere. But I would say that would be one of the top. But if I was to choose like a car that would be fitting for Kenyan market in terms of all round everything, I would go for the Land Cruiser 250 or the 300.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. Kabla tuende kwa kitu ingine, pia amedrive Swift Sport. Sema kitu about Swift
No,
Sport.
I agree with Al on the Swift Sport.
Tumalize.
By the way, it's only a car. It's a car you can explain and say the way Al says if you drive it, not for a minute, not for an hour. Just keep it for a day. You will understand. Sindio, Al?
Or even a week.
Even a week better. I always explain. So even me, that's one of the car that I've really enjoyed. I was like these other guys. Ulikuwa nasema Swift Sport. I was like, yes, because we used to drive it for like 15-20 minutes and then you drop it back. So now the boys at the office, Mbugwa challenged and said, you take the car because we have it at the office. So we went with it home for a couple of days. Yeah. It's a sweet car. And I can imagine yako umeifanyia mambo. So yeah, yako
He
inafaa
has tuned
nikopeshe.
it and he keeps telling everyone how
Yeah,
powerful it is.
yeah.
Stage 2.
Stage 5.
Tangu yake exhaust we no longer have
Mazee.
peace.
Yeah.
Exhaust ilikuwa stage 1.
Talking of magari, over here kwa comments naona apparently you are an Audi hater. Why do you
This
hate on
guy.
Audis? Yes, this guy over
Me?
here. Yes.
Why are you Audi hater?
Because they're always peeing and leaking stuff. Like, show me an Audi that's not leaking. Show me one, just one.
Where? Leaking where?
Huko mbele. It's either leaking coolant, it's leaking oil, or the gearbox doesn't work, or it's having misfires, EPC. Kwanza kuna mtu Audi hapa.
Kwapi jamaa Audi?
Hapo kwa EPC.
Amejificha.
Uko correct.
Papa Scoff, you've reviewed a lot of
Yeah, man.
locally used cars. You know, unlike Ali who sees new cars. I would
Yeah.
tell us about you.
You know, I was listening to him say those cars. I'm like, Ali anaweza nibeba siku moja nipeleke huko because now the cars he's talking about sound like kama kuna msee amekaa marisha mahoho. He or she must be wondering hizi vitu zenye upsi anasema ni nini?
W1.
W1 what?
Shouldn't
Kwani
do
watu
it.
wanataka
Usijali.
W?
Maybe they will come here in the next 15 years. Utaendesha.
Yeah,
Utatuambia
true,
your time.
true,
really.
true.
Ama utaenda huko.
Yeah. Wacha tutangangana na ale tupeleke huko. But for me locally, I've also driven a lot of cars. I think the ones that I can remember, the first one is the Swift, 100%. That is the lowest possible budget-friendly, nice car you can own and drive. I've had an experience also with a BMW, several BMWs, 740, 7 Series, very proper. The new BMWs are very dope. I've done the X3 M40D. I've done the X5 M50D, and those are the ones that I've stuck in my head. And I've also liked the car you've dissed, ilichemsha gearbox, the XV. It's one of the most comfortable, small, compact SUV you can buy. It's very comfortable. I believe everybody at the office, you drove it and everybody loved it. It's very comfortable. Ukipeleka rough road kanasikia poa. Hapo tu kwa CVT ndo shida. Okay? But those are part of the few cars I've really enjoyed driving. Yeah. Hizo ni gari za wananchi wenye wako hapa Kenya.
You mentioned Prado 250 and 300 series. Any particular reason why? Why not G400? Why not a Nissan Patrol Y62? Why not a Ford Ranger or a Ford Everest?
So
It's gonna blow,
first of all, our Y62 is a bit out of the question. So it's not pocket friendly in terms of fuel.
Yeah.
No, how many cc is that? It's a 5 point what?
5.6 liter.
Yes. So I wouldn't say that's a good daily. And for the Toyota, I just believe, especially the 250, if you get the diesel, you've seen the test from our favorite people in Australia. Yeah. It came on top. It's a good off-roader. And when they went from the 150 to the 250, they went from a soft design to a rugged design because they wanted to come back to the roots of being an off-roader first before being a comfortable family car. For the 300 series, the reason I mentioned it, and you've asked about the G400, we've driven the G3, Imran's G350, and it's a very comfortable car. But you see that's an expensive car. So for that money, for the price of a used G350 or G400, you have a new 250 or 300 series. So you do the math. Would you want to go for a used car or a brand new car? You see?
True Murima guy.
You have to think like that, because at the end of the day, as much as the G-Wagon is good, you will look good in the car. It's very comfortable, so many good features. But the 300 series, it's a new car, you have warranty, you have all those things that come with a new car. And at the end of the day, it's still a Toyota. I've seen the petrol, especially when it comes to the 250, I'll go for the diesel. When it comes to the 300 series, I would go for the petrol, because I believe the petrol is just so much better. It has a new 10-speed auto that's just brilliant, and a few mods on that car. I've seen people doing downpipes and an intake and a tune, and that car is banging gears like a PDK. The 10-speed is really good. So that's why I would say that, because I feel like there are so many on the road. And another thing I always say is that when you see cars, when you see the car is too much on the road, like when you see so many of them on the road, there's a reason. When you see people buying Harriers in big numbers, there's a reason. But obviously you'll hear that aren't you a Harrier or anything, but you don't see those cars with problems, you know. Even Trevor, I know he wants to buy a Harrier, but he was forced to buy a VAB, you know.
Or the CX-5.
Yes, you know.
He's been through a lot. Yeah. Trevor, why are you not buying a premium?
Trevor, tell us,
Deep inside.
toa maoni yako ya
Deep
Toyota.
inside, he knows he needs it.
Yeah, deep inside he wants
But
a
the
premium.
boys cannot allow.
Well, you cannot drive a boring car, surely.
Which
I mean,
boring car?
Which is the
Now,
boring car?
the issue I have with premiums is it's so expensive and there's no value to show. 3 million unapata drum brakes bwana.
No, it doesn't break down.
But every so often we're gonna check engine. The premium guy does not know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, anajua tu
But
ako na
sasa,
honi.
You
Hana
can't
kitu
compare when you're servicing every 30,000 kilometers.
Hata premium narukanga service. Kazi anafanyanga tu ya maana ni kutoa thermostat the
Bas,
Kenyan way.
Watu wanaruka service.
Eh,
Uliza
na
mtu
anaendelea.
wa premium kama
Eh.
ananunua genuine Toyota parts kwanza.
Hata anunuangi hizo ananuanga ex Japan.
Haja inunua hazija haribika.
That is Trevor. Anitanga, the Prado you like, the 250
Yes.
and the 300 series.
Yes.
He calls them Vitz Kubwa.
No.
Kama ni Probox Kubwa.
Probox on that went to private school.
Probox Kubwa, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, Ibra, ama Kavendo kuna kitu kusema?
Mimi nimeendesha hizo gari amesema.
Eh.
You know, Toyota has this thing they call double speak. You see what you said? In one side, they have cars that totally don't have a soul. Then the other side, they have very nice cars. So Premium happens to be a car that doesn't have a soul, but it works for Kenya. It works for us, unfortunately. Because this is culture yetu, the same way we drive recklessly, the same way we leave our cars recklessly. So tutaki gari natusumbua, and reliability to us is abuse. As long as inaweza ruka service, inaweza kimbia na shock imevunjika, na brake pads zinapiga kelele, hiyo gari ni mzuri. Okay. Lakini you can't do that with other cars. We've done the LX600. It's a nice car. It's dope. It feels nice. It's expensive, as Al says. I don't know. I wouldn't want to own it and drive it, but I would want to be carried in one.
But it's still a Toyota. Why?
Yeah,
why
it's
would you
a
be afraid?
Toyota. Yeah.
It doesn't
I-
break.
I also got a chance to drive the GTR R35. Yeah. I felt nice, Al. Kumbe, that's how you feel.
It's a nice car.
So it's also a very
It's
nice
actually
car.
one of the cars that I would consider as a daily. I was actually talking to a friend of mine, Ronnie, who just acquired F90 M5, and I asked him, between the two cars, which one do you think is usable as a daily? He said the M5, of course, but I told him that having driven both cars, the GTR is more daily friendly than an M5. Honestly, if you drive a stock GTR, stock suspension, not stock, because the one I had for a long time was a built engine, built gearbox, but stock suspension. And I can tell you, it's more comfortable than most German cars I've driven. It's around the corners, you think you're just in a GC8. It feels smaller from the inside, and other than the fuel part, everything else is just it's a perfect car. They built a good car. They've sold it for 18 years. Ask yourself, who else is selling a car that is 18 years old other than Toyota with the 70 series? You know.
So Al, between the 300 and LX600, why would you specifically choose to go for the 300 when you can still get the luxury and the performance on the LX?
The LX is just too expensive. For that price, I now go for a G63, which is almost same consumption, and the power is also there. I would say the power is actually almost equal between the 600 and it's 500 versus 4 something. Yeah, it's not a big difference for cars that weigh like a hippo or something. But for that price, I think G400D or even a G63 would be a much better car. It looks good. The comfort level is there. But for the LX, for people who know, it's it's much more value for money. But this is just a personal preference that, if I'm paying that much, I would rather have my boxy car than the Japanese version.
GX550
Too expensive also. I would rather go for the 300 series in that
within
regard.
that
Yeah.
price bracket.
Yeah.
Okay.
But those are selling. The GX 550 is
Yeah.
selling in huge numbers in the US. They don't have the 250. It's actually outselling the LX 600 now in the US.
The US.
Yes.
And I think it's kind of expected, because you remember our initial experience with the like 600.
You couldn't fit at the back.
I mean the
you
leg room.
couldn't.
Who?
Ama yenyu ilikuwa mchingu.
Me,
Because
no,
That
me
guy
and
is
this guy couldn't
spacious,
fit at the
man.
back.
No, it's very spacious.
Yeah,
You
it's
sat
really
on a
good.
what? 7-seat.
No, the VIP.
The VIP edition.
And you couldn't fit at the back.
My
Ah.
legs were open pushing the front.
Unless we have
No,
big
it's
asses. We couldn't fit. Maze,
How
me,
big what?
bundas. Kuna mabunda.
No, for me it was comfortable,
No,
right?
that's a very, especially the VIP. I don't.
Yeah.
Are you sure it was an LX?
I literally had to.
That's
had
why
to
I was
sit
wondering. Maybe it was a
upright.
Chinese Alex.
That was-
Hebu tujipimanishe.
Yeah.
Hebu simama hapa.
Bwana.
Tunapima nini?
Height. Hebu pima.
No, there is no way. Honestly,
Both of
I,
them
I
are-
think I think you didn't. Your seats were, pushed
Far
to the
off.
front.
Yeah.
And-
Granted, the one we sat in was in Lucky Tabotail's driving position, and he's
Yeah.
a big guy, so he moved the seat.
Yeah, that's why they
But how
have.
big is horizontally? Not.
But he's also tall. We bana.
Hapo umetoro
We
man.
bana. We bana.
Muki, come here mse. Come here mse. Si.
I would say maybe the seat was pushed a bit back, and that's why you probably experienced that. But
So-
it's
so
very
basically
it's a
you're
very
saying-
spacious car. The wheelbase on that car is absolutely amazing.
But it's still absurd, because like on the J150,
Yes.
we're about the same height with
Yes.
Kalasinga, and he's I think you're taller than Luki, or kind of the same height.
He's a bit taller him.
Which
Yeah,
above-
but not by
okay.
much.
Taller
So-
how this way or that way?
towards God. So and still
Yes.
you have enough leg room even when the seat is pushed far back.
Yes.
But on the LX 600, we literally had no room, like knees on the chair. Kabisa.
But then we tried.
ama
We
mlikuwa na
really
short
tried.
wheelbase. I don't know. Because
There's no
the
LX
ones
600.
yeah.
I don't
Long
think there's
wheelbase,
a
yeah.
short wheelbase. It's just the
No,
standard.
it's standard. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's that's amazing. You'd have to be. What do you have? Gumboots or something?
Yeah, man.
In fact, one of the things expected was that the VIP edition has very bulky seats. So they take up a lot of space at the back and
That's
the
a-
front.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
One way of saying
Yeah,
it.
that's what I thought. That's
Yeah.
what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's quite. I found it even more spacious than the Century. I sat on the new Century. They are doing very limited numbers now because it's sort of like a kind of a niche car in Japan, and they are selling for the price of a Purosang. So it's also quite spacious, but a bit smaller than the LX. So it's surprising that you found it.
Cramped.
Yeah.
Ibra.
Siwaamini.
Actually,
You have to redo it
Tuko
practically.
na photo live live episode, we can't put it.
We'll
Yeah.
we'll go to Autobox and try.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
we'll go to
Yes.
Because for
Autobox.
me, I felt it was very comfortable because we did a series LX 570, LX 600, the G Wagon, and we tested the practicality at the rear, and we found the LX 600 to be dope. And
All
very
right.
comfortable, by the way.
Talking of luxury cars, we went out for the launch of that new brand, and
G-Tour?
Yes,
Oh.
and one of the things that came out was the kind of the quality of the materials they had used on the inside, and it's not exactly a bad car, but one of the things that I've also, I think this week I've had two people ask me, is it a car worth buying? So based on what you saw, is it something that you'd actually recommend and say, okay, go and get this car?
For me,
Yes.
I think I'd recommend the car. I usually say, if you can get a brand new car for the price of a used car, always go for the brand new car. That's rule of thumb for me. I think the only concern that I'd have with G-Tour and any other brand new car dealer in Kenya is how long they will last in the market. Because the problem normally is you buy the car, they are there for like 2-3 years, then they pack up and bounce and you're left to sort
Holding
yourself.
your warranty.
Yeah, you sort with your warranty. But then, in terms of as a car, I actually like the G-Tour. Not as an off-roader, but as a car to use on the day-to-day runs.
Mall crawling.
Yes.
No, I think also for me, I fully trust the Chinese cars. Let's just call them Chinese cars. When you say new brands, I know the ones you are talking about. They come, stay for 2 years, then they leave. The Chinese cars are here to stay. I believe so. It's already starting to take shape in South Africa. They are going big on that market, and I feel like the Jetua, that's the T1 and the T2, those are going to sell quite well locally. I mean, you're talking of, is it 7 million? Yeah, that's the price.
7.8.
Yeah, that's cheaper than a TZG 2022, 150, not a 250, because even they don't have a 250 TZG. So you're looking at a new car, and the most impressive part, I wasn't in the launch, so I don't know if they are offering the same. I know about the Dubai market because one of my colleagues works there, and they are giving a 1 million kilometer warranty. Have you ever heard that? 1 million kilometer. Even if you had doubts about the what do you call it? The
quality of
the quality of parts.
not even the quality of parts, the longevity. Yes.
Longevity, yeah.
If you had doubts about that, then you have nothing to worry about, because I'm telling you, what's the maximum mileage you've done on one car in the last 10 years?
I'm at 210.
210.
Yeah.
What are they all yours?
No.
Oti,
Exactly.
Probably done.
Are you worried about that one?
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
there's a guy here.
Yes.
There's a guy here who's done 200 in road 45. So he's saying the
Which
car has
car?
298,000 kilometers. It's a Honda Stream.
Oh,
Wow.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
those can absolutely.
298,000 kilometers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's en route to 300,000. Actually, there was
Yeah.
a Honda that I...
Yeah.
Honda Stream, eh?
Yeah,
2
there's
liter. I'm at 2.4.
1.8.
Ah,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There was one that I actually detailed, and it was like, I think at 340,000. And the owner was telling me, I mean, the biggest thing he has had to change is suspension.
Yeah.
It's still
Yeah.
going strong. So, of course, a 1 million mile warranty then
I
comes
mean,
in
the
very
only
handy.
other car I believe that would have received that was many years ago, the W124. I don't think any other car would have hit such numbers. So what China is trying to tell you, they don't even believe their cars would hit 1 million kilometers. I don't think they believe that. They just believe that by the time you're starting to experience issues with that car, they've fixed it. They've given you probably a newer car. And if you look at the features that they are giving you, it's features that we used to see on German cars. And now they're coming on not Japanese cars, but Chinese cars. You go on inside a G2 or any other of those BYDs and everything, they are using mostly the same software. You have things like soft close doors on a on a normal SUV. You have a panel roof that is voice activated. Windows are voice activated. They have good sound system. Their semi-aniline leather is really good. It feels like a Lexus leather, and those are features that if you go on a German car, the amount of money you're going to pay for such features, heated side mirrors, heated front mirrors, and all these features are actually safety features that should be standard on cars that we have right now, and you can't beat that.
Ibra, Maoni.
Okay, so for me with the Chinese, I have two conflicting thoughts around it. One is we can't discredit what they're doing. They have Kwanza walirudi home. The Eclipse, everybody at home. Like, talk about VW, talk about Mercedes-Benz, waliwachuja. Like, electric Chinese cars are awesome and dope. They have very good features. And now I believe they are coming out of China and saying, we want the other market now. I believe BYD has taken the word to America, and they are kicking, let me not use that word, but they are kicking people on that side. And they are taking the market day by day. Now, coming to Africa and Kenya, I think for the first time we have automakers who are focusing on us. Like, for the first time we are getting...
Especially price-wise.
Exactly. They are saying we want to make a car for Kenya. We want to make a car for South Africa. And we had the same thing happening with our phones back in the days. You guys remember the Xtigis?
Yes.
Yeah, the phones came with a lot of features for a minimal price. And it was dope. Everybody in the village was working with a TV in a phone.
Yeah.
And it was nice. In terms of sustaining it, with the phones, we kind of fell back dogo. But I think when it comes to cars, the Chinese are here to stay. Yeah. Their things are new. Hiyo kitu umesema tu ndo inanishtua kidogo, because they have a habit of changing and bringing new things and getting rid of the ones they have. And then you now have to switch and go to the next one. But again, the car business right now is into parts. So they'll give you a car that they want you to buy parts more than the car itself. So the price is good. I don't know about the pricing of parts, however. Hiyo inafaa investigate
I
mtulete.
think the best thing, what he's just mentioned about the making a car for Africa, the problem we've had for a long time is that Japan is the only country that has been making cars for Africa. So they make cars that can come and survive in Africa. So you have a Japanese car that can take abuse from the fuel, abuse from the roads, abuse from the parts, and abuse from maintenance. So you look at German cars and European cars in general, they are giving you cars that are very warranty or dealer dependent. So without a warranty, this car is practically useless. What that means is that it's going to cost the next person a lot of money to keep it running, you know. And I'm not talking about old I'm talking about new cars. We are talking of 2015 and up, you know. So if you look at the cars that are made, for example, in Japan, these cars can handle both climates in Japan and climate in Africa. Then you have a German car that alone, if you look at most performance German cars, the fan is running, even for a small startup, the fan is already running like it's the end of the day.
End of the world,
You know, these are cars that were never meant to survive in such climate. They say probably they've tested in Namibia. I don't know what they test there, because there's no way you are testing a car in Namibia and it can't even work in Africa. You know, a small drive at 1 p.m. to just get milk, the fans want to fry the whole, you know, it's just insane. But now you see China is coming. They are telling you that we are going to give you cars at this price point. We are giving you all these features that you've seen on German cars from before, from even 10 years before, and we are not charging you for these features. So why should you go and pick up a used Prado 150 over a car that is brand new? It's not as off-road capable as a Prado 150, because the T2, for example, it's front-wheel drive based. The Prado is obviously a proper 4x4. But tell me, how many people use their Prados the way they are supposed to be used?
Very few.
You know?
Most
So
are
there's
just
that.
your regular mall crawlers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Guys just go. I think the most off-road they do is when they are going up to Gong Hills, and then they say we went off-road. So that's the same thing any other. I think even an XV will still do the same.
Yeah. And the good thing with the Chinese companies, on top of what you've said, is they're actually investing in Africa. Kama hizi gari zote tumongelea, they're actually setting up plans. You know, they want to invest here, bring the money here, set up assembly plants here, and give us good cars. So party kiharibika, unakimbia, unaona venye majuu, kama Mercedes inakusumbua, unaingia kwa duka Mercedes unabuy. Huko kwetu jaribu kutafuta, watakwambia to import. So
True.
I believe it will be accessible if they keep on the trajectory of what they're doing. And the government, I believe, has also done a subsidy around what they're doing when you're investing here. Maybe the Singapore thing is actually...
Maybe. Nenda Singapore.
Yeah.
I live in Singapore. but there's something I've noted, listening to both of you and even Vanilla. There's something that's actually disturbing me. I've noticed when you guys are talking about the best cars, the cars that you've enjoyed the most of you are leaning towards non-European cars to some extent. Apart from Earl, of course, you're talking about the cars in Europe, but of course not for Kenya.
For Kenya,
you are
there's
saying
no way I'm
Toyotas.
leaning on a European car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you've leaned towards the European cars. Again, you're talking about Chinese cars actually offering very good value for money and actually taking the market away from many other manufacturers. Do you think the European car industry will survive? Because right now, they already made goals to be fully electric by 2035. They have now, the EU Parliament has now said it's no longer possible. I think, of course, because of too much competition from China and whatnot. Do you think they'll survive? Because they're making cars that are arguably unreliable. Because today, I was telling you about the BMW XM that came into the country.
Yes.
Didn't start.
Yes.
Someone made a mistake of trying to jumpstart it. And now the car is dead.
Jumpstart the wrong battery.
Yeah, an XM is actually it's a 1 of 1. Okay, sorry, no, 1 of 5. Oops, 1 of 1 maybe. If I could say my vote. But anyway, it happened. We've had experiences with hybrid Volvos. Almost saying, "Hi, baby." That's my daughter. Then, yeah. So what do you guys think about that?
So I think as Al finishes to answer the question, we'll take a short 10-minute break, and then once we get back, I think you can have dropped your questions and we can continue with this. Yeah.
So I think what you just said, they've started, basically backtracking on their what they had set, the expectations that they had. So we just saw this week, Ford has just dropped the F-150 Lightning. They are taking it back to a range extender. So that's what is now new on the market, similar to what the Note
E-Power.
Yes, E-Power is doing. So the engine is basically used to charge the
Batteries, yeah.
the battery. And if you look at GM, they are also converting some of their electric plants, electric car plants to now gasoline. And the people, for example, who are working on the F-150 Lightning, they are being moved to work on gasoline and diesel cars. So the expectations that they had for these cars, what happened is that there was a lot of politics in Europe, in the US, in the West in general. And this is what China cashed in on. They realized that we have so much politics going on with the climate change, trying to blame the cars on the changing, yes. And China took an advantage. I think I mentioned this in one of my videos, that China basically led everyone to thinking that EV is the future. But if you look at what they are focusing on, it's hybrids. It's hybrids. That's what they are trying to sell. So when everyone just rushed to sell the electric cars and to change their models, like, I don't even know what was Mercedes-Benz thinking. They introduced an electric G-Wagon that is not selling.
Yeah.
They are literally begging people to sell. They introduced a C63, which is almost like a full it's a hybrid, but everything is just electric power. They sold what? There's a city in Germany they barely sold to. This is Germany. Do you know that's like not selling tea leaves in Kenya? You know what that means? Literally, your home country, you're not selling more than 2 units of a car. Then they have to do an EQS. An EQS on almost 150,000 electric S-Class that you pay 150 now, by tomorrow it's 90,000. So I think they had this emotional, I would call it emotional. They are very emotional people, I would say. They are very emotional about the climate change, and they made those decisions out of irrational. And China was just looking. So they said, let's show them that electric is the future. They increased their battery production plants. They did all these things. And by the time people are realizing that, EVs, look at people who paid for Taycans. Right now you can pick up a Taycan for what? 50, 60K, a car that was 150,000 pounds. And it's a brilliant car. It's a good car to use as a daily. It's just that the person who paid that 150,000 pound, he's without 150,000 pound today. You lost a lot of money on that car. Whether it's finance or not, you still lost a lot of money. And China, by the time you're realizing it, they are giving us hybrids. There's a Denza, the Denza I reviewed in the UK. It's a brand from BYD. So what they are doing is that they have this 1.5 liter with hybrid, 800 horsepower, and people are still complaining about the 1.5 liter engine. What they don't know, it's not even connected to the wheels. It's a range extender. So why are you complaining about an engine that's not even driving you in the first place? And it just shows that Europe now has started to realize there's this party in Germany called AfD. It's like a right-wing kind of party. So they've said that they are fighting in parliament that they want Germany to go back to the country that it was, a car-making country. In the days of the W124, W140, I say this because Mercedes-Benz used to be there. They set the standards. So if you look at those cars, those are cars that used to be revolutionary. If you look at a W140, for example, the features that car had, my goodness, you go into a W140 today and you feel like you still haven't seen enough of cars. You find features that you are like, so cars had this in the 90s. Then you go into a W223, the new S-Class. This, how Mercedes has this, the seat buttons and the controls and everything. They feel like plastic. You come from a BYD and you feel that it's more premium than an S-Class, a whole S-Class. You can't make this up. I jumped into a 2024 S-Class, and I'm not lying to you. It feels cheap. It feels like a C-Class. You can't even tell the difference moving from a W206 to a W223. The only difference, the size. The screen, the poor materials, the weakness, it's just screaming that someone in this went in the board and they said, first of all, you've served me with beef, I don't eat beef. Then went ahead and made decisions on how to build the dashboard. Bro, the car is cheap, man. It's cheap,
And they've made them look the same.
They've made them, now they have vegetarian interior. What the hell is that? If you don't want leather, just don't build leather. If you don't want to sit on leather, just go fabric. There's no thing I want vegetarian leather. What the hell is that, man? It's
Anyway, and with
insane.
that, I think
Wait,
we'll-
wacha Tolea aseme before
Oh,
tuende
Tolea
break.
unataka
Tolea kuna
kutoa
maoni yake.
Maliza.
Ongea kutoka Toloi. Tolea kuna kitu ya kusema.
Toloi sema, Toloi.
I like what I ameteremkia Mercedes, but yeah, but Mercedes are playing right now. They're actually playing, and the fact that a W206 looks like an S class. Ukiangalia na mbele na nyuma, it's like, what are you guys doing? Okay, but I believe what Ali is referring to is what the EU calls uniformity. That is something that Kia, the guy from Toyota, has refused. Because everybody wants to be uniform. Let's go electric, kila mtu ende electric by 2025. And Kia was like, no, let's not do uniformity because a car has something it offers more than just being uniform. Sisi tukienda electric, sasa wasa walikuwa wanaendesha gari ziko na V8 watafeel aje, umeget? So I believe China cashed in, but I also believe Toyota cashed in as well. While everybody was going electric, Toyota was like hybrid, and then we bring in the GT and stuff. So they knew. So right now the people are cashing in Toyota and the Chinese company, dope stuff.
The Asians played the Europeans.
Yeah. On that one, yes. Yes. But there's something you asked. Will it affect
Will Europe survive?
Europe? I think Europe has, the way I'll say, Europe has a way of coming back to the drawing table and reinventing. And right now they are. If Mercedes-Benz fixes their own stupid decisions they've made here and there, I believe people will still buy. Buying a European car is more of an ego, statement than anything else. People want to own Mercedes because it's Mercedes.
They even pulled back on the decision to scrap or gasoline cars by 2035.
Yeah.
Because it's no longer making sense. I mean, at the beginning, for them, they were pushing so hard, but they've realized it's actually pulling back our countries.
Yeah.
Because once the Asians started playing them, I mean, they've been beaten to their own game.
So there's a
And-
joke.
yeah.
There's a joke. There's a guy I watch. I think it's McCain or something from UK. So he was doing a documentary around people stealing cars. So there was a 440i that was stolen, and then the same guys went back and stole an i8 BMW and another one. So they sold the 440 and the other one, and then they returned the i8. Yeah, and then he went and interviewed the thieves. Yo, guys, so what happened to the i8? They say, nobody's buying electric, man. We had to give it back. Yeah, even thieves don't want it.
All right.
And they were selling that car at £6,000. It was the cheapest deal. So
All right, so we take a break,
Yeah.
10 minutes, and then we'll be back.
Hello. Can become a regular.
Hello? Kila mtu mic check. Hello? Hello? Vanilla, hello?
Yes. And we're back. Kalasinga. Si tuingie kwa project. Sasa tusikie
Kama iko vizuri bana.
sawa. Tuingie kwa projects. Tusikie hii stress yenye imekuwa ikikula watu mahali imefikisha watu.
Hata kabla tuingie kwa project, just a reminder, tuko Cafe Kaya, our partner for the day. Wako hapa Lavington, mahali kunaitwa Jahazi Place, ama ukitaka kwenda pale Viking House utawapata hapo. So before even go to the project cars, kuna swali naulizwa hapo sana, where is Joji? You know the poster had Joji, Al and Ibra. Joji couldn't make it. Last minute engagement is completely understandable. So we are continuing, lakini tumeka mtu hapo, kakofia hapo, huyu ni Joji for now.
Baby driver.
Huyu ni Joji for now. So huyu ndio Joji. Yeah, so project cars.
Yes.
We've discussed a lot of things. Okay, the three of you are doing project cars. I am a hanger-on a project car. So we have this guy with a W211 E-Class that has shown him bad things. Na si ati anafanya hata AMG swap. It's just it's a normal, it's called the M271.
No, this one is a
M274.
646.
646. It's a diesel.
Yeah.
Al ako pale na Bronco.
Hiyo hali imekaa sana.
Imekaa.
At least yangu umeiona.
Yako nimeiona ikienda kwa barabara.
Hali anatupiga tu update. This is the update of the Bronco.
And the update is the same time. Yes, same one every time.
Yeah.
You change. Yeah, you can give up. Anaisongesha pale atuambia this is the update. Tena isongesha pale this is the update. So it's always the same.
It's the direction that he's updating.
Now Vanilla pale now recently started he sold his everything. Vanilla quite literally sold all his assets, sold everything, hata karibu mpigane na bibi, si ndio?
What did you buy, bro?
Patrol. Na sasa Patrol ameamua kuweka engine ya BMW.
M57.
M57.
Okay.
6 ZF. So, sijui nianze na nani? Oye, Papa Askofu.
Sasa mimi hata niko natafuta project ingine saa hivi tunaongea. But the idea and the dream was I was actually planning to do a V8 on the 211. So I was looking for a body and then I get the M113K, the supercharged, the first legendary V8 that we had on the E55. So that was the dream. And then unfortunately the engine started working. So I was like, so wacha tuendeshe hii mpaka ikufe and then we see if we can work around that then. And unfortunately, it has died. So I believe that is back in the fireworks. But project cars, Interesting. I don't know. Yeah, that's true. Okay, for us, imagine kaa sisi at least tunajua vitu za magari na umeona imetuonesha shege. So you can imagine a guy who doesn't know anything about cars and you've trusted somebody else to build for your project. Yeah, it's painful. I don't know what Al has as a story, but I believe we share a few things in terms of what happened to us. Even me, I had trusted somebody else to help me build it. Yeah, ni story too. Ni story za kaka Sungura, like, but at the end of the day, right now the only way I'm going to do mine, I don't know about Al, but for me I'm going to do it mine like myself. I have a team of technicians. We are going to set up our own place and we are going to wake up every morning and do or work on that car until we get it right. Lakini maneno ati unapitanga hivi, unaambiwa karibu tu, ukinunua tu sasa sahi bolt 2, hiyo gari itakuwa ready next week. Unarudi unapata hata bado hata body haijawekwa. Umeget? So that is a story of project cars. I don't know, for me, from a perspective, if you are doing it from outside, if you're a guy who's planning to do it, I know there are a couple of people who've been shown shege with project cars, like they've trusted people to do their projects, and imekuwa to endless tears. You had to move from one workshop to the other one, and still, you never got it right, okay? So it's an expensive, very expensive venture, na inataka ukuwe na row moja, ama row sita za kusurvive. But kama uko na kichwa ngumu, the good thing is at the end of the day, once you're done, it's one of the best feeling. You get to drive a very nice car that you've custom made, you've built yourself, and you're proud. You can say, I decided what went here. And it's something you can brag about when you meet people and say, you know, this is my car. This is the headlight mini lieka hivi. Ilitaka hii hoodie ka hivi. Ilitaka engine yangu iko hivi. So I believe people are always going for that last point of high where you have a custom made, something that is unique to you and yourself. So if you can afford it, you can do it. But if you are looking for a cheap way to own a car, no, stay away from any project car.
Yeah. Good piece of advice.
Projects are just, like I said, if you can't build your own car, just stay away from project cars. It's just, I think I've seen 5 years of not driving my car, not even sitting in it. I started with because mine is a 68 Bronco. I started with a 3.5 liter Rover V8. That's the carburetor one. And as much as it's one of the easiest engines to work on, literally it's direct, but still an issue. The car never ran. It never ran right. Just used to vunja shaft after shaft. It's too much torque. I don't even understand how you even put too much torque on a stock old engine in one sentence, because I just went through so many shafts because of that. Then at one point I decided to change to what do you call it, the updated EFI version of the same engine, but it was still not working, you know. Then we went to now the 2UZ that we have, and that actually works because I bought a running car. I bought a running 100 series, so 2UZ running 4-speed. So everything was, even when we connected it, the wiring was done in a day, and the car is firing up nicely. But now you need to make sure that, you know, the powertrain is now running on the suspension that you set up. So I bought 80 series suspension, which is solid, obviously solid like the Bronco. I still wanted to retain my Bronco chassis, because then without the Bronco chassis, it's useless. And the easiest way would have to lift up my body, put it on the 80 series, and it works. But then it's not a Bronco anymore. And you see, my whole point, this is an investment car. This is not a car I want to keep in Kenya. It's a car I want to build up to the best that can be done in Kenya, then sell it out there, you know. Just for those who don't know, the Broncos, the classic Broncos are selling for up to $400,000. Cars that are done up nicely. You know, people who are building in the shed in the US, you bring a brand new 5-liter Toyota engine, a brand new 5-speed or 6-speed transmission. Most people are going for the 4-speed automatic, and you put it up together. It's so easy. It's a body on frame, so you're doing everything separately. You can restore the paint in a week's time, you know. Then you put up the interior, the leather and everything, and these cars, you put it in auction, start at $300,000, and the car is selling because it's the last good looking Bronco, you know. And then here I am, I have everything, and it's still not working. And that's why I said, if you don't have a garage and you cannot work on your own cars, stay away from such things. Just buy a running car. Go to Japan, buy a running car and forget about it, you know? It's simple as that. You will cry premium tears. So now I had to take it to a friend. Rupal Racing, Karan is a friend of mine. He doesn't even work on such cars. I'm sure many people wondered where I've taken it to a Subaru garage. But it got to a point where I was, it's a very beautiful car. I keep looking at it.
Just wants to hear about project cars.
It's what we have about project car. And those are some of the most notorious
That's how
cars.
men lose focus.
When what passes.
So anyway, yeah, so I approached Karan and I told him, look, right now I don't want to go to another specialist garage. I am done with going to specialist garages. You even find 4x4 specialist. It's all a facade, you know. So I told him, look, we've known each other for long, and I know you don't work on these cars. You have the space. I don't want to keep this car at home. It's not like I even have the space to do that. Just find someone, supervise him. I've been to his garage. He's one of the few garages where you go and he's always there. You know what I mean? Everyone knows what I mean here. You go to a garage, they are never there. So he's one of the few people. It's him and his brother. There's Simar and there's Karan. So if he's not there, the brother is there. And they look at everything that is happening in their garage. They started from a very small shop. They've now moved to a bigger shop. And I told him, look, I don't expect you to change anything. I don't expect you to pull miracles. But I am done going to specialists. Because going to specialists has gotten me nowhere in the last 5 years. So I want you to do me a solid as a friend. And he said, you know what? Bring the car. He removed his own project car. You know, the Rupal the GC8. It was parked there. They were doing work on it. He moved it out in the sun and kept my car in the shade. And he said, you know what? I will do the best I can. So I'm not expecting the car to be 100 or to be even, you know, better than what I expected in my head. But at this point, I am in too deep to give up.
That's always the problem. You get in too deep.
Yes.
Toxic relationships.
Yes.
You know,
anaifanya kama investment.
tukiwa hapa kuna mtu, you know, I go to the same garage as a guy seated there called Jumbi. Jumbi. Nikupatie mic kama nisikupatie mic. Nichome ama nisichome.
Pea Jumbi by.
This guy has a
Wema. Choma. Hivyo ndo nakupatianga psych alafu taksu.
Uli reveal confidential information.
Yeah.
Jumbi is a Pajero guy like me, and at the workshop we go to, he has 2 Pajeros, which I have no idea what they're doing, because I hear he's moving parts from this Pajero to this Pajero, and doing what else? Putting a new age engine on the other Pajero. So basically, they are Mark 3s. So he wants to have one Mark 3 with a Mark 3 everything, running gear, and then a Mark 3 with a Mark 4 running gear. So that's what he's basically doing. Utakapitia, bro. You know you're having 2 project cars. 2. Yeah. All the best, bro. Okay, one is being sold apparently. The Mark 3 one. All right.
After he has faced the pain, or right now?
After.
Oh, so he's still wait. So he'll go through it.
He'll finish the car.
No, I mean like you'll go through
He'll
the
go
pain.
through it, yeah.
Okay.
The pain is
It's
a must.
coming.
Mazima.
He's in the middle of it right now.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Jumbi.
Merry Christmas. We love you, man. Vanilla, Ama, you have something to
No,
say?
I was saying Al's project is very serious. Yake ni investment, si project.
Yeah.
Unajua ungetuambia. Yeah, Al ni investment. He's told you he's not working on something. He wants to sell it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And he's done a
I
proper
actually
investment.
had a buyer in the US for
Exactly.
about $85,000
Yeah.
with the current, if it was finished.
Yeah.
So when I showed him the current state of the car, because he saw it before, then I showed him now the current, he's like, I don't see anything that has changed. So he dropped his offer to $25,000. And that's when I actually now called Karan and told him, look, I don't want to, this is peanuts. I can't even buy suspension for some of these cars, you know? So I told him, look, let's try and build it to the best we can, then sell it after that. Honestly, I have no use for a Bronco in Kenya. It's better off I get that money, put it as a deposit for a GT3, and that's it, you know? There's nothing to do with a Bronco
GT3 incoming.
here, you know? No, not here. I'm not doing any other car in Kenya. Already the AMG has shown me that these cars are not friendly without warranties here, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I mentioned in the previous
What has happened with the MG?
No, AMG, I mean, I have fixed a lot of things, bro.
Really?
One month? I'm telling you, when the car came, because I've been driving my VAB as my only performance car, and I fuel at any shell, any of them. So what happened is that these Japanese cars, like I said, we talked about that topic when we said that this it's the first time Chinese are building cars that are tailored to Kenya. The Japanese used to build cars that are tailored to, they can take abuse from Africa, not just Kenya. So what happens with my VAB is that whenever I go and fuel in a bad batch, everyone knows what a bad batch here is. It basically overfuel, so you get lots of pops, and it sounds like you've tuned the car, and you've not tuned the car. So that's a Japanese car. It's able to take that abuse. Literally, I know people who've owned Evolution 7 models here. They've been running on Kenyan fuel through the ages. When I mean through the ages, the different types of runs that have been introduced in this country, and these cars are still running today. So Japanese cars can take the abuse. So I fueled the EMG in the same petrol station, did a pull on Thika Road, car died in the middle of Thika Road, literally shut off. So I called SVR, and he told me what was happening. There's a way to reset it, but timing was off. Coil packs were dead. The plugs were dead, of course. By the time I realized the bill, I parked the car, flew to the UK, and I forgot I even had that car. I didn't want to imagine about that.
Now this is where you understand why Al always has a hat on. Jukipara anaendelea kugrow. These are the things that are giving him consistent problems.
So I'm like, this is the first time I have fixed a car. All my cars take abuse. My Jimny. My Jimny has taken more abuse than any Jimny locally. Like, I have done things. I have flooded that car. Do you know what it feels to flood a 2023 car? It's a new car. In Kenya, a 2023 car is like a 2027 car in the UK. It's literally, I have done so much on that car, and I have never fixed. In fact, only one speaker died. A speaker, bro. Then you have a car that you've not driven for a month, and you have a budget, you have a bill of £5,000. You go to Mercedes-Benz, they ask you, I told them that, we have an issue of coil failing in these Mercedes-Benz models. And they asked me, no, we actually have enough on these parts because they don't sell. We don't have any cars that are killing coil packs. And the story here in the country is that AMGs are killing coil packs. It doesn't exist. So you have to ask yourself, these cars are just not made to survive in such countries. They depend on warranties, And for me, that's when I decided no more performance cars. If I buy a performance car, it will have to stay out there. Simple as that.
So Al is the only Mercedes-Benz owner who's come clean and confessed. I think the rest of the other guys are just suffering silent.
Yeah, people are scared to be
speak
embarrassed
up
when you spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that's what I said. I think we were speaking with some guys here, and I said that we talk about cars. We talk about buying good-looking cars. You don't want to buy a Harrier because you will be seen as a normal person. So you end up buying a fancy European car
and suffer.
You go to garages. That's when you see those cars. Yeah. Yes. But when we sit like this, everyone is like, my this and this and this.
My Audi is the best.
My Audi, my Volvo, my Mercedes-Benz. For me, it doesn't matter. I honestly, I have no like commitment to these brands. If it's not good, it's not good. It's as simple as that. I was not born in a Mercedes-Benz, man.
Yeah.
So there's no point of me, painting the house clean and it's not clean.
Yeah.
It's simple as that.
Hey, this guy is suffering.
He's suffering.
He's
No,
suffering with new cars, old cars,
everything.
everywhere. But there are two that are serving well.
Yes. My Japanese cars never. My Subaru has lower maintenance than the Jimny. Literally, like service. I fix the steering rack, which is a known problem. I do oil. I literally service with Shell. Literally, the most basic oil. We service with the same oil as a fielder. I'm not even kidding. That car,
there, can you say the same?
Bro.
Over there, can you say the same?
I have a leaking shock from Japan. That's now 5 years, and I still finger that car around corners on leaking bill stains at the back, and it has shown me absolutely no reason to not keep going.
Yeah.
Try that in an EMG. I changed the shocks on the EMG.
Already?
Hit the track, chop at the pothole, I had to change both shocks. Hey. And those are EMG ride control, so you can imagine how much that is costing.
I'm changing my priorities. I think
It's
the
a
MGs
slay queen that is in a place that is not supposed to be in. So when it comes here, it's looking for a dealer. There's no dealer who is willing to give you the parts at discounted rates. So you end up spending the import, the taxes, the labor. You've bought another car.
Now I
Here's
have
a new
cheat.
car that's a project car.
I have now a cheat. So just to buy a Mercedes Benz with not this one that Al owns, because AMG is definitely that's an expensive fix. Hey, bro, maumia. Yeah. But for me,
They
I'll
never
just
used
do.
to be like that. The
Yeah.
W124s, like I said.
Yeah, they were
Those
robust.
were proper cars. You can hit 2 million kilometers on them, and it's not an issue. It's just that newer cars
Yes.
be made to also give dealers money.
Yeah.
This is a lot of money for the dealer out there. It's just that you are still under warranty, but you've paid for that warranty. Extended warranty costs a lot. Okay. So the dealer is fixing that car for you, and they are making money at the same time. Okay. With a Japanese car, even what Akio said, like in 2017, he said, we know that Japanese cars are known to be reliable. Yeah. We want to change that. We don't want to be known as boring people. No more boring cars. But that doesn't mean Japanese cars are not reliable.
They are reliable.
That's why I'm sticking between 2000 and 2010. Yeah, even my 211 you're laughing at. I drove for more than 250 kilometers with a burnt gasket, and I have not suffered as him. So it can take abuse.
I hope you've watched this video. Ulifika sangapi?
Nililala Narok nikaona nitembee usiku nikaona naweza kula na wanyama katikati, but it came, and I agree with him. Most people, and I believe these guys will also agree, and everybody is watching, if we can't afford the same feeling from an AMG, if you can get something better, older, when cars were designed to actually last and serve, you stick there and make good of that. Yeah, but right now, as he said, saidi parts wanauzia umse. Like literally the parts.
And it's just reminded me of a friend of mine who bought a GT3 just a few months ago when I was in the UK. We went to collect the car actually, and on the day we were supposed to go to a track day, literally the engine seized out of nowhere. But do you know, this is the fun. It was a 991 GT3. The funny thing is that he went to the dealership. So the dealer wrote the factory. The factory said, we need that engine. So they pulled off the engine. They took it to Germany. In the meantime, he was given a 992 GT3. The car is still under warranty. It was fixed. So I imagine myself. Imagine if a friend like Kalasinga bought his first supercar from me. I sold him a GT3, shipped it to Kenya. The engine dies. Where do you begin? That's 40,000 at least. You need to spend on a new engine. Yeah. What will happen to that?
I will be suffering.
Exactly.
And we on Project Cars Vanilla, as we go to the issue of the questions that have been raised by people. You're building a Nissan Patrol, is it a reliable or unreliable BMW engine?
Well, the M57, of course, is easily one of the most reliable BMW engines of all time. So I'm not too worried about that. And the good thing about it is, at the end of the day, there's a lot of resources and parts, and people have broken them enough times to know what goes wrong. So it's very easy to build it. But now coming to the shell of the car, I mean, I've done a lot of project cars before for customers and all that. But I think also when you're doing one for yourself, the experience is a bit different. It's kind of the same thing that they are going. The pain that you're going through, in as much as it's in my shop and everything. First of all, when I got the car, I knew there was work to be done. I had seen some rust. We had gone with some guy over there. We saw it. I saw we had rust issues. What I did not know was why the rust was there. My God. The minute so I thought, this is just surface rust, we'll just, remove the paint and everything will be nice and we'll remove the rust and that's it. So these guys, when they were doing repairs for rust, they were using those metal bars that you used to build the house. This is chuma ziko huku. Is what they had used to strengthen some of those parts. So they have cut chumas, they've bent them, and then they've hidden them behind filler. So you don't know until the minute you decide, let me take these off So what I thought was supposed to be a rust job for like 3 days has now taken me close to a month. I had actually told him, hii gari tunaenda nayo Christmas. Right now, there are no doors on the car. There are some on the side. Everything is off, and we are still finding rust even to date. Like, you just go through a panel and you're like, there's something wrong here. You remove it and there's rust. So, well, that's one of the biggest issues with patrols at the end of the day. They are rust buckets. So, in as much as you want to build one, that's one of the things you have to be prepared. And I'm just imagining this is a cost that is not as high for me as it is for most other people, because then I have a garage, it's my own guys who are doing these things. But just imagine if you're thinking, oh, I'll buy a car because I can see people are buying old cars, and then I'll build it, my friend. Enda tu nunue hiyo premium yenye mnaambiwa ni boring and move on with life. Because the amount of money you will pour into that project car, you'll be wondering, hey, I think at some point I should have just got me a new car. But of course, there's a lot of joy as you see it, coming to life, to be what it is. And as much as Al over here is saying he's going to sell it, I'm sure by the time he's done with the Bronco, he'll do some madding before he decides, now I have a buyer, let me ship it out. Because after you've done all that work, there's a lot of joy that you get, like through the journey as I've been building it. And I know we've been late to share the updates for what we've done so far, but you being able, you feel like you're actually the manufacturer of the car, though all you're doing is just patching stuff. But there's so much joy you get from seeing it all come together. But your pocket cannot say the same. Yeah.
So mimi, I think I'll stay inside ya kununua gari. I buy a functional car and drive it. Hii maneno ya kushikanisha vitu, maybe the only thing I can change is tires.
Unajua naangalia ama anasema hivyo juu ya bibi.
Bibi ameenda, wewe ngoja, yuko hapa. Wewe bana. Wewe bana.
He's being PG about his comments over here.
I don't have a secret project car. Sina. Anyway, Vanilla, are there questions?
Yes.
There were questions from guys who are watching online.
And Al has already answered one of the biggest questions, which was, about his
Bronco.
His Bronco, and how much he has been through it. So there's another question about fuel quality. Where fuel quality in this country is in the pits. I can see Tony, 92 something is asking about fuel quality. I think in the last few weeks, all of us have complained at one point about fuel, the quality of fuel that we have. One of my friends over there, his cars have been on check engines. Every time he fuels, check engine. Every time, check engine. He puts race fuel, check engine. And I think just about everyone has been having those issues. You yourself, you're going through.
I've had fuel issues.
Yeah, all over here is killing AMGs through fuel.
I think every AMG person has gone through this. It's just that they won't accept it. But the fuel, and if because me, I have come to a point where I can't buy another performance car in Kenya. But if you have to, go BMW. BMWs are more forgiving. With AMGs, it's not a hit or miss. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen. So most people are obviously tuning for lower octane fuel where you run less power and all that. I think that's the only solution now for such cars. But if you're going to talk about if you're going to gamble with bad fuel with for example an AMG, it's going to happen to you.
Funny enough, I know guys who own petrols are suffering. I will tell you without a doubt, the guys who are getting more performance-oriented diesels are not. Yeah. So
do you have V-Power diesel?
I believe there is premium diesel coming next year. Yeah. I think they'll be launching something to that effect. But guys who are buying the diesels are enjoying. Like the guy shipped in the X3 M40. He's been doing trips. He's covered probably around 30 kms right now. And he's even done stage 1.
That's what we were actually talking with Kalasinga. Like right now, if between a G400 and a G63, it would be much safer to bring a G400 in Kenya than a G63. You can be guaranteed that you are not using the full performance of a G63 in Kenya. Not with our roads. We started with that topic. On Thika Road, forget even going fast with that car. It's impossible.
Yeah.
A G400 will be comfortable. It's friendly with fuel. You can go and fuel in like Tok and still come back. Try that in a G63 and you will see who your daddy is.
We've actually driven a G-Wagon to Magadi.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuel there and brought it back, but it was a diesel. G350. So
yeah, those are fine.
I believe the cheat here is know where you stand. There is talk around upgrading the quality of fuel from 2026. Right now we are Euro 4. So meaning the sulfur content in our fuel is top notch. Nobody says it, but that's the reality. So now Al brought in a car that is Euro 6 rated. So of course, hata kama hiyo mafuta wamejaribu, at some point, somebody will miss it out. So I think we need to also sensitize people around the car that you want to drive here, and he's spot on. Just don't bring a car that is fully dependent on the quality of fuel, because it will screw you 100%. But the ones that are more forgiving, if you can, get the diesels. And as he said, BMW is killing it with the B50As. People are not crying a lot around it. Lakini Mercedes-Benz itakuonesha shege. Yeah.
So another question. This is from Easy Imagina za watu za YouTube. Anyway, speaking of Japanese cars, what's up with the GR Yaris and the Corolla going up in flames abroad? Is it about thin oil or what's it about? I think
There's been stories about GR Yaris's, Corollas catching fire. We've had GR 86s having oil starvation issues. And it appears that Toyota is not really answering the question as to why some of these things are happening. Although I'd say in this day of the internet, some things can be blown out of proportion. So you can find out of 100% of GR Yaris's or Corollas sold globally that issue. But then when you post on the internet, blows up, becomes just one YouTuber.
But it's a Toyota. So what do you expect?
Oh, ni mingi. Okay, 0.1% basi. Oh, Honda that make perfect cars. Yeah.
It's when you say if you find a madman beating a dog, it's like it's normal. But if you find a normal guy fighting a dog, you're like, "Wewe uko sawa kweli?" So that's the same expectation Toyota has. So you remember even when we discussed about the 3.3 petrol engine, is it the 3.5? I mean, yeah. Same problem. If it's Toyota, people will amplify. Oh, Toyota has a reliability issue, because people expect Toyota not to have reliability issues.
Yeah.
So I think it's the case of just amplification.
Yeah. There's that, yeah. I agree.
Alafu shida zingine zinakuanga tu majuu. Huku kwetu tuonangi. Like, kama umeona gari kichoo. There's one.
Which one?
Kia, there's a Kia Santa Fe.
but the Kia. That was in Westlands. I think there's another one that was somewhere in Mirema. There was another. But again, I think, as you're saying, some of these things also depends on proximity. If you see something here and there, then you start saying that is what happens. So it's not necessary that it's true that there's a problem with maybe some of these cars catching on fire. I think it's just, for whatever reason, that one maybe had, or two, maybe they had their own issues which maybe needed addressing. I mean, especially here that we tend to do a lot of not proper modifications.
Yeah.
You're putting a cutout over here and you're putting an alarm system. Yeah, so you're bound to land into those issues a lot.
Yeah.
Kalasing, I think this one is for you. The usual battles. Swift Sport, Demio Diesel, Golf. Kuna mtu anauliza Golf TSI. I don't think that one is in that category. But yes, pick one. Na usiseme Swift Sport. But yeah. Demio Diesel,
Golf TSI.
the manual one, and Golf TSI.
Swift Sport any day. I mean, it's not even a debate.
It's been shut.
It's been, yeah. There's nothing to even talk about.
You know, the Demio diesels, what happens is people believe they are really quick. The other day, someone called out a Mark X. We were on ICD. And the Demio had a tune, and he called out the Mark X. So, of course, he was kanyangwad, you know. But at the end of the day, I think the reason why all my friends who ended up buying Swift Sports, I told them, drive the car fast, then you realize what quick is, you know. There's no way you're comparing how a Swift Sport is quick versus a Demio diesel. That instant torque can lie to you. You know, the same thing with the to-note Ismo. That instant torque can lie to you. But the moment you hit 100, that's when now you start realizing speed is relative, you know. It's not just about going from 0 to that 100. You have a instant torque that makes you think that, you know, your car is really quick.
Yeah.
But then you still haven't seen speed. You know, you remember there was a era when we used to go to Masinga, and all the new diesel Mazdas, people actually brought them to the track, you know, because you see when you're on Thika Road, you pit a very fast car, and you're like, yeah, let me go and show these Subaru boys.
Yeah.
But speed is relative.
Mm.
What is fast for you, my friend, is not fast for all cars.
Martin, that advice goes to you. Mahali uko. Please listen to this.
Nafikiri kuna general assumption. It's not assumption, it's a feeling. When you sit in a talky car, when you push it the first time, when the turbo kicks in and the torque comes in, unasikia nikaa unaenda mbio. Bro, hauendi mbio. Ni talk tu inakupiga kwa kiti.
Umesikia umesikia
Ni
kama
kufeel tu, it's a feeling that but ukipata mtu mwingine ako hapa anakucheka tu akienda.
Yeah.
So I believe I'll say it's more of regular drivers. They'll be like, no, gari yangu ina feel fast. But probably you'll just find guys on Thika Road cruising nicely, slowly. And they'll be like, nimekata umse. But when you come to a track, now people mean business. So now you can't put down your numbers. You can't put down the thrill anymore. Yeah.
It reminds me of the government Prados, the 1KDs and the 1GDs. They think they're the fastest on the road until they meet someone in a 2 liter.
Even a 1.5.
Even a 1.5 liter.
No, a 1200 Peugeot 208.
Yeah. 208 now in a gap properly. Yeah, it happens. Yeah. 1.2 liter what? Golf. Polo, yeah.
In a Polo, yeah.
Polo in a gap vizuri. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think speed is relative. That feeling of speed does not equate speed. Sometimes you think that you're actually moving fast, but you're making more noise than the speed you. Yeah.
By the answer we've given again, Swift Sport equal relative because we are talking about performance. But if you put the three cars next to each other, even the Swift Sport is easier to keep on the road. It's cheaper. Like relatively, the Suzuki will be a better buy. Yeah, cost-wise in terms of maintenance. Kwa sababu gari si bei unanunua. Gari ni bei una spend kukana. Unaona sasa hali alinunua gari pesa fulani unaona quarter of that price already ashalipia kwa.
I don't think any bei unaitumianga because you see half of the time the car is in the garage.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day that also matters. I can see someone who's asking about owning a Lotus since it has a Toyota engine. I think Lotuses are basically what Subarus are.
It's basically like I considered actually getting a Lotus Exige. I was serious. We talked, and I told you I was really serious. But the concept of having a mid-engine, I remember you actually even told me that it will be, it's like a Mark X engine or something. People can work on those engines. But the concept of a mid-engine car, imagine you need some of those services. It's an engine-out service. Imagine having to get out your engine. It's a mid-engine in a garage that has never worked on such a car.
Thank you.
Then, by mistake, the mounts are not balanced properly. Then your car starts going sideways every single time you're flooring it. So I thought about it and I was like, as much as it's a Toyota engine, the way the car is built, the concept it has, I don't think it's a Toyota. It's still a sports car at the end of the day. So
and there's also the thing about how stressed an engine is. You find on a Lotus, in as much as it's a Toyota engine that is doing the most. It's easily that guy mwenye anainuanga mawe kwa MJE. That guy is always working at peak. So the minute the guy sleeps on a stone, he's gone. That's it. So that's how a Lotus is. It's a really good car while it's working, but the minute something goes wrong, sijui, kidogo hewa ya kinungi is not the right kind of hewa, and you're towing it back to Nairobi. Huku kitafuta automovers. So that's, some of these cars, they may look like it's a Toyota car, but it's really not. It's a whole other kind of a vehicle. Yeah.
You know what you've said in simple terms is there are desirable cars you can bring, but you have to look at who is working on them and the condition of that car. It doesn't mean just having a Toyota part. It will be as reliable as the Premio. Yeah, kwa sababu Premio tunaijua kuanzia nyoka mpaka saa hii. We know it. And Toyota doesn't change a lot. Okay? But you get a new car that has been designed different for a different market. Yeah, you're going to get a bit.
Like Kalasinga was telling me, they went to Marsabit, one of the Prado. I think the driver was a reckless driver. He ruined the car. Was it him? but apparently in the middle of Marsabit, they got all the parts, not mechanic, parts.
Interesting.
For it's a G.
It's a VXL.
VXL.
Yeah.
All the parts.
Imagine.
You wanna
Him,
try-
actually him.
You want to try that in a CX5 and see if you're going to get all the parts in the middle of Marsabit. You know, Toyota is.
If there are any
Toyota at
lawyers
the end of
around
the day.
here, but I need a demand letter.
Your character has been assassinated.
That lawyer no longer has work, so
No, but it's fact.
You ruined a
Right, it's
Toyota.
true.
there's no
But
ring
it's
at
true.
Toyota.
Like all the guys here went for the drive.
Actually,
you know
no.
for a fact. You had when you go to Marsabit, you had to service the car, change brake pads, did you check what?
So
and the
see,
car was
Last
fine.
time I saw red brakes on a car, like glowing brakes on a car, was a Ferrari FXXK, and I heard you had glowing brakes on a Prado. Do you know how fast you have to be going to even do that?
Well, it was keeping up. You know, the last time we went for the wreck with these guys.
Yeah. An admission.
No, you see, everybody before that road trip, everyone was told on the group, you must service your cars. And and guys were over there posting pictures of their cars, in what garage. Me, I'm changing, I'm carrying 5 tires. Me, I was like, we are just going. Because I knew the Toyota will get there. And it did. Well, of course, the brakes were turning red. But just, it tells you that in as much as mnasemanga Jitega, it's still fine. It was keeping up with the rest of them, the Swift over there.
We were letting you keep up. We had rules.
How can
What rules?
how can he kill a VXL of all cars?
Imagine.
Has
Imagine.
been tropicalized for a market. Everything. Vanilla.
Vanilla.
Chocolate. Hey.
But actually,
But that's how every Toyota guy thinks.
yeah.
Kila mtu ana service gari yake asema, "Hii
Hii ni Toyota.
inaiamini. Hii nimeenda nayo mpaka hell nikarudi."
But then your vanilla. Could it be possibly because you were braking with your left foot? He actually brakes with his left foot. What do you mean? I kid you not. NTSA like this video. No, I kid you not. No, okay, after this, go for a drive with vanilla. One mguu iko hapa, ingine iko hapa. Anakanga hivi.
No, you're balancing brakes and gas. It's not a manual.
Well, at the end of the day, it still goes fast and it's a VXL.
Any more questions?
I think we're almost done. I think since we're almost wrapping up, final views. What car do you think guys should get in the coming year in the local market? Like, what's one car that you tell guys go for this car away from the Swift Sport? We've established it,
and away from the Prados and the 300 series.
Yes, like get a car, and it will serve you well. You'll enjoy the car, as Nani says. Gari ni ya kuenjoy. Simba, hi Simba. What car? Simba, ambia watu wanunue gari gani? Hello, what is that fun car people should buy?
For me, if it's performance, I would go BMW. It depends on what you want. If it's an SUV, I would go for either the M40Ds, if it's the X3, for example, or even the M40i now for the petrol. If you have the money, you can go for the X3M, which is also a very good platform. Then, if you're going for the sedans, the G80, as you've seen, there are quite now a few in the country, G80 and G82. Those are good cars to buy. So that's performance for people who are willing to spend around, 10 to 13 million shillings. If you're willing to spend more than that, you can now always go for things like, an F90 M5. You can go for an X5M. I hear there are now 2 in the country. The F95, it's a very good, platform also. If you're going for normal cars, I think I would still stick Japanese. Yes. Any Japanese car that fits your pocket.
Yeah.
I believe Al has covered performance. So for me, I'll give Kenya wa kawaida because that's where we sit. Few cars I recommend 2026. Kama unaweza afford, buy it. Right now we are changing the dynamics of the cars we own. There's guys who used to drive sedans are slowly migrating into subcompact. So the car that
which is very sad. Sedans need not to die.
Yeah. Okay, on the sedan, if you can afford to buy the Insight, Honda, people have underrated Honda. If you can get any Accord, the one that Jesus said he doesn't have.
Nadiz is wondering, what fun is there in those cars?
They're actually very nice cars. I did a review of Honda
nice
Insight,
ones.
the new one, the last one. It's a dope car, very dope. Believe me, the interior is good, the build quality is good, the fuel economy is good. It looks good in the exterior. Like everything is dope. So it is a budget. It's going for around 2.1, 2.2 million Kenya shillings. So that's a car. I will say if you're on a budget and you don't want to buy an Atenza, you don't want to buy those, get yourself an Accord, get yourself an Insight. You'll never regret. It will work with your Kenyan fuel. It will work with your Kenyan dynamics, and you'll be good. There's like a small car that has just come in called the Toyota Raze stroke Rocky. It's a 1000cc, 1KR. Najua watu wamezusha juu ya hiyo engine, but it's going to be a surprise entry because right now it came in at 2 million. Right now they already started hitting 2.5 million, and we are shipping in within like a month or two of reviewing. It has moved in price from 2.1 to 2.5 right now, and I know they will go up because kana compete na Vezel, ina compete na hizo, but the pricing was quite good, and people realize that, and I believe guys are cashing in right now. But it's a dope car. The looks are nice. It looks nice. Yeah, it looks like a Jimny that has done some few TZ up and pale. It has a very fuel economical engine. Very dope car. If you have a budget, nunua CX-30. I loved it as well. Subcompact. I believe that's where most Kenyans are going. Yeah. Ala cover performance. I'm with him on the X3 M40Ds. Yeah, if you can get yourself an BMW right now. People have been laughing about how BMW is unreliable. But right now, BMW is going to be the dominant car on your space. Whether you're looking for performance, whether you're looking for a car you can enjoy driving. Yeah, do not underrate a BM, especially one that has a 6-cylinder.
Yep.
Even a 4-cylinder, even the B48. It's going to be a dope car to own. Yeah.
So tuko hapa na mgeni wetu Trevor. He wants to understand what you mean by dope cars. So wacha atuulize hizi maswali.
Show you're working with diagrams.
So dope cars is in and out, a balanced car in terms of the good things you're looking at in terms of fuel economy, the comfort, the driver dynamics. Basically, it's a wholesome car. It will not give you an extreme of one or deny you an extreme of the other, but it's a balance. It's a car you can say, you see when you're looking for a wife to marry and you don't get a cute one or an ugly one, the medium one, the one that you can live with comfortably, na upeleke ngombe kwao. Yeah, those are the dope cars that I'm talking about.
Wait, bana.
It's an example.
Hatutaongeza mengi kwa analogy. However, one of the things I think also Kalasinga you've seen on Twitter, the people who attack us most are the owners of those dope cars. So, are they really dope at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Because we go for a trip. For example, my expenditure for fuel. The Lion does not concern itself with matters consumption. So, mafuta ikiisha, unaongeza. But I was attacked for 7 kilometers a liter. It's a Subaru with an EJ engine. It will consume fuel. Yeah. It's not designed to be efficient in any way. Yeah. So, where's the balance? If you're buying a car that you can use across everywhere, why come and attack those of us who are having fun?
It's usually funny. You post your stats for a road trip.
Yes.
Maybe you've done 7 kilometers per liter. Someone tells you how they could have done that trip and do 23 kilometers per liter. I'm like, okay, it's fine. You do it.
You didn't enjoy the way I did.
Yeah, me, I enjoyed being at 7 kilometers per liter. Yeah.
But I think it's a concept of putting everybody in one basket. So there are guys who don't care about fuel economy. And there are guys who have walked into our office and said, you know what, fuel economy is not a factor. I want a car I can enjoy driving. Simple. So get me that car. I can afford fuel. It's not a problem. So I think the biggest problem you have as Kenyans is, sisi wote tunafikirianga na, I don't want to say it poverty mentality, but we always come from there. Like, mbona ununue BMW na unaweza nunua Premio? Because Premio ni cheap, Quran, you get? So it is the same setup. But everybody doesn't want a Premio. There are guys who are like, it's okay to have a Premio, cool. I can buy this Premio for my mom or my dad, but for me, I'm going to drive a BMW because I want to enjoy how the BMW drives. However, as Al said, regardless of the problems he encountered with the AMG, I believe every time he takes it out, he smiles and says, you know what? Regardless, nasikia fiti. So I believe we have to start defining ourselves in terms of what we like versus what other people like, and be respectable enough to appreciate what they like and what we like. So no judging everybody best with what they love.
Except for our premium.
Yeah, except for our premium.
Back to you in studio. Huyo alikuwa ni Trevor wa Blue Axio. So his Blue Axio is the fun car compared to the dope cars. So tunajua those ones that tumeambiwa ni mid zinaitwa dope cars.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
Al, are you going to buy a dope car in the new year?
No.
for me, the cars I'd recommend for 2026, of course, the Mazda MX-5 Miata. It's a dope car.
It's dope,
It's a dope car.
but it's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone, but I'd recommend if you want a fun car away from the usual stuff that everyone else is buying, please consider that car because
But you have to mention which trim. There's one good trim on that car, and you know it.
the ND2,
No.
the club,
No,
or the retractable
hard top.
hard top,
HT.
not the soft top.
I think it's the RX or what do they call it?
The RF.
RF.
They call it the
yes.
RF. So I'd recommend that car any day because, number one, you're getting the trusted 2-liter Mazda engine. Let's start from there. You're getting one of the best 6-speed manual gearboxes in the industry. All the way from manufacturers like Zonda, Pagani rather, all the way to the lower cars like Toyota. Like, they're making one of the best manual transmissions in the industry. You're getting a rear-wheel drive platform car. So if you want to go a bit sideways, you will go. It's balanced. It revs to 7,500 RPM. You're going to have fun. You'll redline all day, every day. It's NA. Aina mashida ya fuel, nini. It weighs 1,000 kgs. It's light. Yeah, you're going to have fun. Another car I'd recommend to guys for 2026, the 2-liter diesel BMWs. So these are the 320Ds, 520Ds. They may seem underpowered on paper, and some people like Brayo here who drives powerful cars, they may feel underpowered, but they are actually very good cars. If you look at European forums, South African forums, guys are doing 300,000 kilometers on those cars with no issues. Actually, some of the most reliable BMW engines are the diesels. The 2-liter diesels, the 3-liter diesels, they are very reliable. So recommend those any day.
And actually, I think on every road trip we've done, BMWs are the cars that have not had any issues.
They don't have issues.
Like, that has been one of the biggest surprises, especially considering how we perceive BMWs in this market. I think they've really outdone themselves. I mean, we always
looking for
we see Toyotas braking, we see Mazdas braking.
Yeah.
Subarus,
looking for a
yes,
Beamer.
please.
Yeah.
If you have an F10 520D, yeah, we are looking for one.
You're looking for one. Ndio your customer kwa hapa.
Another car I forgot, the Outback, the new one.
Okay.
Yeah, based on the new platform.
It has
Very
CVT.
comfortable. I'm the guy who believes don't buy the Forester, get the Outback. It's longer, it's more spacious.
I just wish we had the same trims as the US.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
just
we
get
are
the
basic.
best. Yeah. So they have the wilderness package, and it's when we did the mud for breakfast with crossovers, the Outback never failed any test, literally. But obviously, you remember the car that won was actually a CX-5. It was insane. That car, it was a diesel, all-wheel drive, and it's not even it's the pre-facelift. It did really well, and the Tiguan as well. That was also the 2-liter for motion. It did very well. But the Outback, other than just for what do you call that? Am I forgetting it? In the front, the sump guard. That's the only one that came off. But that car literally handled everything with just about 2,000 to 3,000 RPM on the mud.
Yeah.
Of course, the rest had to have a rev a bit to come off, but it was handling well. Now with the wilderness package, they give you lifted suspension. They give you the cladding on the side to make you feel like it's an off-road car.
That look here.
And I just wish they sold that here. It's a good-looking car. I think even the CX-5 has in the US, which is the CX-60.
CX-50.
CX-50.
Yeah.
CX-50, the one with the
It looks like an off-road car.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those are the trims I really wish we had those trims for Africa, in fact. You know? Yeah.
Funny enough, with the Outback, people think if you go in the mud, you actually have to rev so high, like your VXL, to move out of places.
It
It's
has
not.
an X mode that does.
Yeah.
It does all the
automatic.
thinking for
Yes.
you.
Yes, and the transmission, the CVT is good at balancing your RPMs and the torque. Una access to hapa kwa 3,000, maybe kama umeenda sana 4,000 RPM, and you have everything you need. So you don't need to go paka CVT chemke. So it's a very well packaged SUV. I'll take it over the Forester and any other SUV any day.
Okay.
Especially with the new Subaru platform. It's very comfortable. On road, very beautiful car to
Yeah.
drive.
And I
And
think
the tech has also improved.
Yeah.
I think Toyota is working magic with Subaru.
hapo kwa Outback kuna kitu tu I saw this story some time back and I think I shared on my Twitter. There's the new Outbacks are coming with a 1.8 liter FA18
No, it's CB18.
CB18 turbo engine.
Yes.
There's been a recall on those engines in Japan.
Yeah.
So read about that before you bring that car in. Just confirm. I don't know how you can confirm if a recall has been adhered to on the car that you're buying, but there's been a recall on those engines, and it was actually a catastrophic failure when it comes to the engine.
Yeah, because actually the good engine on those Outbacks is the FA24. That's
They're
actually
the
the
only one.
perfect
Yeah.
engine.
If you
Any
want
other
power.
engine on that
But
car,
people are scared of any engine
Yeah.
that's over 2 liters.
yeah,
Yeah.
everyone
It's
says,
gonna
oh, it's
consume.
2000.
Like-
But still, they're pretty
But
economical.
that's the
Yeah.
concept. That's
Yeah.
the same reason why people believed that the 660cc Jimny is going to consume better than the 1.5. But what people are forgetting, these cars are made for cities in Japan. So this 660cc is doing so much work to just go up a hill
Yeah, you have to
when the
flog it.
1.5 is doing less work.
Yeah.
They are both consuming, but at the same time, the same thing I mentioned with the recent review I did on the 2UZ versus the 1HD FTE. At the same time, this 2UZ, I kid you not, under 2000 RPM all the time on the highway, especially still doing 100 kph, which is the maximum that you can do. I think on Kenya we have a maximum of 110, and it's still doing well.
Yeah.
So there is no point at the end of the day. You are looking at the consumption that the spending on the consumption versus the spending on the maintenance on
Yeah.
the diesel. So you do the math, and you probably end up with the same
Yeah.
amount of cost. But this guy is doing effortlessly. You know.
And cars you'd avoid, I think, to start with me, for 2026, I would avoid any hybrid European car. That's it. Any hybrid European car, just avoid.
Correct. Even don't try go the Volvo T8. You'll cry tears of joy and pain at the same time.
Yep.
Especially if the motor goes out. If the Japanese cars are giving us a problem, the hybrid ones, the few we know. Okay? Now imagine getting a European car. They're already over-engineered. There are less technicians who are knowledgeable enough. Alafu kuna kwanga na kashida fulani wa Kenya tunakwanga nayo, we don't upgrade like our versions of the things we know. So unapata jamaa alikuwa anakufikisia premium, umekuja na Volvo X90 T8 ya 2021. Unaenda kwa huyo msee unamwambia, unajua Njoroge umekuwa mekaniki wangu mzuri sana. Hii gari unaielewa? Anakuambia hii sielewi lakini tutaangalia hii maneno, okay? And then you get yourself into trouble. I've seen that by there. There are guys who garages zimegoma garage because of that. There's a guy who was fixing, I have a Touareg, a diesel one. So the mechanic who was fixing that car did a very shoddy job on keeping that car on the road. The guy who used to own it bought an LX570. Guess where he took it? To the same guy. Now he's crying tears because how do you screw up an LX570? One of the most stable, reliable engine. It's because he trusted if this guy could take care of this, he also understands how to take care of it. It doesn't work that way. So I believe I'm with you on that. And a hybrid European, no, but you can try the rest. Honda are doing awesome. The rest of the other guys are giving the best.
Which car are you going to avoid, Al? 2026.
On the issue of the hybrids, they're actually selling really well out there. The hybrids and the range extenders now. The problem is, I tell people we are a used car market. I keep repeating this. We are a used car market. It's the same thing. Hybrids are tech. Imagine buying a used phone. So if you buy a new iPhone, it's at 100% battery. If you buy a used one that's, let's say, we buy what? Is it 7 years or 8 years?
8 years.
8 years.
Yes.
Imagine buying an 8-year-old iPhone. It's at what? 55. What was Naomi's phone?
Refurbed.
55% battery.
Yeah.
You are charging twice a day.
Leo Ali amekuja na shorts, eh?
You are charging at what?
Yeah.
Twice a day.
Twice a day.
Yeah.
Twice a day.
You have to work with the
So imagine
power
the
bank.
same thing with a hybrid. It's 8 years old. To people here, it's a new car, but out there it was it's already behind time. So you find that the battery already it's not been replaced. No one is replacing for you that battery. That's why they are selling it, to get rid of it. So I would say new hybrids are actually good. That's why they are selling more. They've been selling more because they are actually good. But when we buy used cars, you're buying used tech. There's no update to that used tech. The battery will go fast, and that's the main fear of buying hybrids, that you need to buy a new battery. Nobody wants that cost.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you bought a used car. So what we need to consider is that since we are buying used cars, if you're going to buy a hybrid, make sure it's a much newer hybrid, at least 2023 and above, so that the battery is at least at 70%, give or take. That way you have a more reliable hybrid. They are good cars.
Yeah.
I have a Japanese one that you can avoid. Nissan X-Trail hybrid.
They have a hybrid.
Yeah, they have a hybrid before the e-power. Don't try to touch that thing.
Usijaribu, avoid.
That one is the only one. In fact, that car is so bad to the point the guys who work on it, they don't want it. Like, imagine uko na gari, uko na shida, you take it to the mechanic, it's like, hii tutapelekana polisi, I'm not fixing it.
And now that you mention, the Swift hybrid is actually selling really well.
Yeah.
It's not here yet.
Yeah.
But not the problem. By the time it comes here, it's already used. Then people are going to say it's not reliable. But
Yeah.
it's a bestseller in South Africa. It's been selling very well in Europe as well. So I'm yet
I
to
think
see.
they're here.
They're here. The hybrid are here now.
The
Yeah.
Swift hybrids are here.
So it's been sold locally.
yeah, people are enjoying them.
Yes. So I'm telling you, you are going to start seeing.
You want me to make mine hybrid, eh? You're looking at me now in a certain way, like, siweke ka battery. Siwezi. Yeah. So X-Trail zimeramba watu.
Your hybrid. You ask around.
Yeah.
There's a guy who bought one from Mombasa, ikakufa. He carried it to Nairobi. He went to a specific garage. They begged him to take the car away. I don't know whether he sold it. He came to my office crying, saying, can you just get a guy who can buy this car even at half price? Even nobody wants it at half price. That's how bad they are.
Vanilla, would you accept to work on an X-Trail hybrid? As you tell us, the car you'd avoid in 2026.
I mean, the thing with a lot of these new cars is they also require specific knowledge. It's really not just about, as Papa Scoff was saying, it's not just about getting a car and saying, yeah, I can fix this one. Because a lot of the cars that are there nowadays are also, the platforms are new. Everything about them requires you to actually relearn. So the problem is with the Kirinyaga road mentality, hata hii tunafunguanga, hata hii tunatengenezanga. Like, I remember there's a time when I had a customer vehicle and it stalled somewhere on the side of the road. I know exactly what the problem is, but then some mechs come and already, from the minute they arrived, they already knew the problem. Inafanya nini? Kuguruma. Hizi zinakuanga na shida. And I'm thinking to myself, you have no idea what is happening with this car. There's so much work that has been done on it. So I actually know it's stalled. Though I took some time to just listen to Ujuajiao, but that's the problem we all have. That one, you always think the old mechanic knows everything about every car. And also as a mechanic, you think you know everything about every car. It's also important to understand that there are limitations, that's why you have all these different garages that decide we only stick with these brands, because there is a lot of learning that you need to put into it. So my worst car would be a car that you know nothing about, and you know nobody who has actually had one before, and you're trying to figure out what happens as the first guy. Kitakuramba very badly. So it's important to also, acha mwingine ya Rambo, somewhere over there, watch them go through it. In the process, you'll know if that's a car that you should buy. Otherwise, wewe uko na experience na ile GTI. You decided to be the example to others. And now today you're always complaining about VWs and Audis saying they're leaking.
I discovered you can have leakages everywhere. Everywhere.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vanilla, tumalize ama tuende?
Tumalize. I think, yeah. Kuna swali ya audience. Ama
You'd
comment
still
ya
buy
audience.
one, right? For
You
the
still buy a
driving
GTI.
thrill, eh?
No.
Yeah. Just buy one. Maybe yours was bad, eh? The one you'll buy will be good, eh?
The hybrid GTI.
Hey, if I'm to go back to German, I think BMW. Only BMW. That's it.
There's something you talked about that is very interesting and dope. And I think we need to cultivate it as a culture. We can't know everything. We can't be masters of everything. I've seen, is it the guy with the Ation? How do you call him?
Mulanda,
yeah. So Mulanda drives his Ation and he comes to one garage and they get to fix his car. He has a workshop, he has a garage. He could actually do that at his own garage. But he's like, no, this is not my territory. But there are guys who are more informed and better in terms of fixing this. So si tu ati kwa sababu Vanilla anajua magari na akona garage anaweza fix kila kitu. Even me, I take my Volvo to another guy. I don't touch my Volvo. So there's a guy who I know who can fix my Volvo. But hizi zingine tunaweza ngangana nazo. So you have to find out who is good in what and respect that and keep to that. Kwa sababu shida wa Kenya tunajaribu kuwa judge wa kila kitu. Unataka kutune, unataka kufanya kila kitu, unataka kufix. Gari bora ni pesa. Hii unanipatia pesa ngapi hapa EMG? Hizi vitu tumebadilisha kuanzia 1963. Kila kuramba. So I think for me that would be where I leave it.
All right.
Final words.
Final words on
Anything.
I think I would also say the same thing as Kalasinga said. Right now, I would avoid any German performance car other than a BMW.
Yako iko na mauchungu bana. I'd avoid any German performance car.
I would honestly, European performance cars, I would avoid them.
Except BMW.
Except BMW. And I'm not even saying that because I love BMWs. It's just that the numbers don't lie. You know? Yeah.
I can feel he's going through the stages of grief. He's between anger and acceptance. Avoid. Lakini anakubali kilimramba so
ako kwa ile moment ya marriage haibambi. Ama inabamba mafala. But when you get another one, you're like, no, I was wrong.
Siku anasema mpaka huyu. So
But he enjoys the car. You enjoy the car.
Yeah, I enjoy the car.
Yeah.
I enjoy driving the car, the driving pleasure it has.
Yeah.
I thrash the hell out of it.
Yeah.
It's unforgiving. I just get scared of fueling it. That's all.
Yeah.
In fact, when I fueled it after picking it up from the garage, I haven't fueled it up again until we were with you.
Yeah.
And it's every time I have to fuel, I keep thinking, should I or should I not? You know, if it could go on one fuel tank, I would be sorted.
All right.
utaweka hybrid. Iacha kutumia mafuta. Kalasinga. Tufunge episode.
I think this has been the Christmas special.
Huyo maangusha Joji.
Wapi?
Maangusha Joji.
My fans.
FL5.
Oh, FL5.
See only fans. Where ni nini
So
bana?
FL5.
Maangusha
Joji. Pole Joji. Pole Toto.
Mokota baby driver.
Joji. So sorry. Anyway, nilikuwa nataka kuenjoy mse pale lakini acha nilenge hiyo story. Something about OnlyFans. Anyway, acha nilenge hiyo story. So FL5, I don't think it's a car ready for the Kenyan market next year because they're still expensive. They are costing what? Over 10 million right now.
You are looking at around 50,000 pounds.
Yeah.
That's buying before taxes.
shipping.
Yes.
So they're going to be very expensive. But in the next 2 years, FL5 any day. Wacha depreciation igonge kidogo.
For the price of an FL5 right now, you can do an M240i. You can even do an M3 G80 literally.
Yeah.
So do the math.
Yeah. But FL5 Type R still remains one of my dream cars.
You don't even have to go FL5. FK8 alone it's a good Civic.
You know the problem with the FK8, it has the looks that only a mother can love. That's the challenge.
You have to work with something.
The drive will make up for it.
Yeah. I'll be inside the car. I won't see the outside.
That's a very good concept. Most people stay inside, they cannot outside.
Yeah.
That's why people buy Juke. To stay inside. The inside. Remember, it's the inside.
Ni roho. It's
But
the
then,
heart that matters.
what are you seeing in a Juke from the inside? Let's be honest.
It looks the same inside as it looks outside. Kuna kitu ya kuona hapo.
Yeah.
But the owners seem to find something interesting inside, which I've also never found.
Unless inside the chassis.
Yeah.
It's just something about
Okay, maybe
sun.
Or maybe the problem is the owners.
Could be. And they are normally very cute.
the owners. You know, it's about to. It's a
Yes,
point.
Jumbi.
It's a point. Yeah? The
Yeah,
owners are
the
normally.
owners are very
you know,
cute.
I normally tell
Oh, so
people.
it's the alter ego.
No, what normally happens?
No.
If you see a man driving a Juke,
Yes.
that guy is trying to kupata madem mahali hapo.
Correct.
Kwa hiyo Juke club, hiyo club ya Nissan Juke owners.
Actually, girls will look at that Juke more faster than they will look at his
AMG.
I thought girls are now moving on to the CX5s and the Demios.
No, I think that is a new cult of girls. But the old school legendary girls, no, they're still doing the Juke.
Okay,
Or the CHR.
CX5 ni wamama,
Eh.
not girls. Wamama.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there are a few CX5 owners here. Nimeharibu.
No, waambie kuna CX-5 ya turbo msee.
The 2.5 liter petrol turbo.
Yeah, very powerful.
Very powerful, very powerful. In a gap.
Oh, I
2.5.
forgot that one. You can also buy that one. One of
Yeah.
the best
And
cars
and,
even.
and if you are, like I keep saying, if we are lucky like the US, we will get the 3HT, the 3.3 inline 6 turbo.
Yes.
I actually heard that Toyota might borrow that engine for the next Supra. I'm not sure how that true is, because they are not going BMW again.
Yeah.
So that would
Actually,
be
that's
interesting.
one
It's
I'm
a
looking forward to
340
see.
horsepower and up
Man.
to 500
Straight
Newton
six.
meters of torque. That's a B58 basically.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
basically
Yes.
Mazda's version of a B58.
Yes, even the power output is
Yeah.
similar to a B58.
Yeah.
And they've done both in diesel and petrol.
Petrol. Yes. Yes.
Crazy stuff coming from 2026.
But
Yeah.
still kutakuwa fuel gang. Hiyo gari iko na engine kubwa.
That's why they won't sell it here probably.
Acha tuone. Anyway, guys, thank you all. Thank you, Papa Askofu. Thank you for gracing the Christmas special. From Vanilla, myself, and the guests,
And Georgie.
and Joji, we wish you a Merry Christmas. Unafanya nini?
Napiga Georgie.
Oh. Anyway, wish you guys a Merry Christmas. We'll see you in the next season. We'll try to have maybe one more or two more of these.
Yeah.
Seems very interesting. Ilikuwa Trizex. It's worked very well. Sema, the trip video is gonna come soon.
Yes,
So-
the trip video is coming very soon.
You'll enjoy it as you relax. As you enjoy your Christmas holiday.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy
It's the actual Christmas special.
Yeah, it's the actual Christmas special. Sasa, unataka kusema Vanilla? Si umaliza. By the way, my wife always complains, mbona mnamalizanga episode hivyo tu?
No, inafaa umalize na speech poa.
Na
Kama-
speech poa.
eh,
Malizia episode
like,
basi.
it has been amazing, it has been
Pole
awesome.
pole wasi aki poleni.
Aki, si ni hivyo.
Hii kitu aidanga shule. Or to hug.
Hiyo hapana.
Wewe kuja umhug. Wewe kuja umhug. Mimi si hug mtu hapa.
Kwani
but
umesikia
tumemaliza
hili show gani tunakuanga nayo?
Hii si ile.
Umesikia hii ni Gearhaus Island.
I think that's where we should end it.
And on that note,
Kwaherini, Merry Christmas, tumemaliza.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Merry
guys.
Christmas.
Thanks. We're still live. Wait, Al, mbona kuvalia kofia? Eh. So he said that he only George is valia George. Anyway. So, and thank you guys, our audience, and the guys watching live.
Thank you everybody. Tuko na beef na yeye ndio maana ongei kuhusu cabbages.
Ndio maana alikuwa anaongelea about vegetarian leather kwa kumbe anazilike anajifanya tu. Anyway.
Papa Askofu. Kwani misa haijaisha? Pigie sisi maombi. Piga maombi.
Na hii endelee ikae kwa episode.
Msifanye niombe ya ukweli bro.
Si uombe.
Ilikuwa tu jokes.
So, cheers guys.